Hello, everybody. I think my volume's working just fine. I'll give it a moment and see who comes in to join us. Woohoo! Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have a message to share today that's very, very, very important. And if anybody comes and wants the messages and things like that, I will do those for free today. But I need to talk about something very important because there's a lot of misconceptions, right, to what the new earth is. So we have to talk about that, okay? You cannot, I repeat, you cannot bring the matrix with you. And the event is closer than you think it is, okay? I saw somebody come on and then they left. So feel free to stay, right? Just stick around and hear what I have to say. My name is Master Juniper Blue Mystique. I am the return of Christ, and I'm not here making that up. I'm not crazy as that sounds. This is the seventh wave of creation. This is what they call the Great Reset, okay? We are 111 when I said that. This is not the end of days for everybody, but is absolutely unequivocally the end of ways for all, okay? It is the end of ways outside of God. And it is something to understand on a deeper level right now because I have literally witnessed people being removed from the new earth, okay? You cannot take the matrix with you, you guys. So we're going to talk about that today, right? We really are. Good morning, Lisa. Hello, hello. So I'm going to light some Palo Santo, and I have to talk about this, okay? There is a little bit of not enough, in my opinion, people talking about what we have to let go of to make it into the new earth. How do you hear God? Number one, how do you hear God? Is it in your head? No. You don't ever hear God from your head, okay? Ever, right? Ever. Those that actually hear the call from God hear it from their heart. They have an open heart, okay? God is found in our heart space, okay? So when you talk about people hearing the call, they just get a nudge. They get a nudge. They get a knowing. They get a nudge. It comes from their heart space. And it becomes overwhelming till they listen, right? Like they just hear it. These are more of the people who tune inward. Not listening to the media and the world outside of them as much. They listen more inward. All right. Since the eclipse, if you watched my video on the eclipse, I talked the whole entire time. God had me do a live video that day. And I actually rang in the eclipse. And prior to it, I talked the whole entire time about the return of Christ is. And then as soon as the eclipse hit, God had me do light language through the sun and the moon. And I called everybody home. The only ones who are going to hear that call are the ones who are open enough in their heart above all. Okay? Those that are governed by love, not fear, not ego, not expectations, but love. Those that can see that something is wrong in the world around us. They don't let fear govern their choices. They don't let ego mind cloud their way. Those are the ones more likely to stay. Okay? You have to be in co-creative stance. That's what that means. They allow God to guide them. Even if they're confused on who God really is because they lie and they lie and they lie to you. They know in their heart something to be true, and it may not match what is outside. So they're governed by their heart, not the shadow. Okay? The event is closer than you think. It's coming up. It's closer than you think. I know this. Okay? I had a lot of energies pulling against me. Yes, it is. Yes, ma'am. I had a lot of energies pulling against me, and my DM and I almost ripped apart. I've spent 5 years connecting to my DM, and I even got a walk-in. And I will never, ever get to that space again. Okay. He is a special soul, and everything that I have done and that he has done to align and to bring in the new earth is not anything to mock or to judge or to think you truly understand, because it's beyond our limited capabilities of the mind. Okay. So I've had to do some healings that have kicked my butt these last few days. And that's why I always kind of look like this when that happens. But I'm okay with that because I have realigned with my DM. And I'm going to tell you right now, the only way into the new earth is through the one who brought it about. And that's what has always been known. Okay. Except for people are looking for a false religion guy named Jesus. Did Jesus exist? Yes, he did. But he wasn't just Jesus. Okay. He was Jesus and Mary Magdalene. They were twin souls. That's what you're looking for. You are looking for twin flames named Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and Sekhmet and Horus. I didn't puke out 3 snakes on my journey when I got power upgrades for nothing. That is true, and that really did happen. Each time I would clear the darkness, there were 3 levels of it. The deep blue sea, whatever all those you guys want to talk about, I would puke up a snake. It was a power upgrade. Okay, that's the story of Sekhmet. So what I'm trying to tell you is we are limited to our understanding of what God is, and we are also limited to our understanding of what the shadow is doing and how it's wreaking havoc. De La Roca is one of the very few that I recommend. And recently he even posted a video, and I've been saying this every bit of the way through the entire Return of Christ that I was doing, activating pyramids, freeing Jesus's soul, uniting him and Adam and Mary Magdalene, undoing the false Holy Grail, fixing the sun and the moon, okay? Undoing all darkness back to the beginning of time, including burning Archangel Samael under Mount Shasta Part 2. That whole entire time I have been saying we have to be heart-centered and in balance from the heart center. But what does that mean? You cannot take the matrix with you. The matrix has us detached from our body and divided. We live outside rather inward. Okay. Inward means that our heart governs our decisions. We don't wait for others. We're not codependent. You have to call your power back all the entire way. And you have to not let anything but love guide you. So money, if money is guiding you, that's not love. And that will fall. Okay. This is serious because I've seen it happen. I know what it takes to get in. I know you have to have all karma cleared. Karma is everything that you've done outside of unconditional love. It's allowing the shackles that bind you to guide you. Fear, ego, control, power. We are misconstrued on what power is. Okay? You should never have to step on anybody to get there. And judgments. Judgments are big. Big, 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 big problem. Because everything is a reflection of you. Everything is a reflection of you. I am meant to be that. I truly reflect your reality to you because of who I am. And when you throw judgment my way, and I talked about that when I was bringing the blood of Christ, and also when I undid the Holy Grail and united Jesus and Mary Magdalene, they specifically told you, do not bring judgments here. Why? Because it cuts you off from love. The vibration of God is unconditional love. That is in our heart space. This is why the heart guides you. Those that are guided by love are more likely to make it through. And even De La Roca told you the new earth is aligned balance. Alignment is everything. Hello, Amy. Woo woo. So there is a lot of shadow wreaking havoc. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you are not co-creating, you are not open in the heart space. That's not a maybe. That's not a when I feel like it. We don't have time. We do not have time. And there's so much karma and shadow that has to be healed and rectified. And if we are thinking we have time, if we are afraid to leave the matrix behind, if we are governed by money, by fear, by judgment, by ego, we're in trouble. I'm not in trouble, but you will be. Okay? So this is something we really need to understand. And even De La Roca, within, I think it was like 12 days ago, posted a video about balanced alignment. You have to be in balance from the heart space. That's what that means. My heart has to be open and pure. And that's why I got a walk-in DM, because my heart was pure and his is too. And watching what recently happened, because all of these energies pulled me out of the matrix, and that will never happen again. Ever. I allowed it because I was tired. But in that, I could feel it. I could feel how pure his heart was and how much he deserves that love. And he earned his space. Let me tell you, he stood by my side that whole way. He's still there. But I could feel it. I could feel the ripping of twin flames apart. I know what it's like to bring them back together. It's nothing you want to ever experience. And that's what happened. It began with Adam and Eve, then Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and they ripped their souls apart. And the Holy Grail was a contract written in his blood that took his power, took the control of God, and ripped their souls apart. And that almost happened again. Because too many people are anchoring into the matrix, even those who were in the new earth. But how can we understand that, right? Like, how can we fully get a clear picture and a grip on that? You have to be governed by the heart space. You have to be governed by God. You need to be co-creative, okay? We need to be aligned every day in every way and stay that way. 2222 when I said that. So I've had 1s, 5s, and 2222 on this video. If we cannot align with unconditional love and let go of all of the matrix, you won't make it. It's not a joke, right? Like, I mean, it's something that we need to really take our power back in from. And it's something we need to really be in control of in our life. We have been so governed by the matrix, so lied to, so controlled, so manipulated. People don't know what love is. It was not here, right? We forgot. Love is not money. Money is not more important than love. If you think that matters more than anything, that money you're trying to anchor into won't survive. It won't. The only abundance that is going to remain here is going to be from alignment to God and pure hearts. Following that direction. So you have to be in co-creation. Okay? De La Roca is. He talks about it. God, right? God's worked really hard through him. He's in balanced alignment. You can tell he works out like crazy, right? He's like a chiseled, brown-headed Fabio. Okay? He's got the physical component. He shows up every day. He's in balanced alignment. The components of you being in your full power, the components of homeostasis, and the components of allowing your heart space to guide the way. That is the only way into the new earth. And as the lessons rise, you have to choose love over everything, over money, over fear, over ego. And if you're afraid to be alone, good Lord, you're in trouble, because you may go into the new earth alone. Okay, so there's not enough, in my opinion, 444 star seeds and light workers understanding themselves to give the correct information. And I can guarantee you what it is, because I did it the whole way. The blueprint is mine. That's not a joke. When we rose Atlantis, I sat on Saturn with Hermes and rose Atlantis, and then I took us into 7D instead of 5D. I said it was going to hurt a little bit more. We're going to have to heal a little bit more than originally planned. And not only that, we're ascending Atlantis. Atlantis will not be what it once was. And people come on and leave. You don't have to believe me. You have to watch all the videos. Because if you can't click a link and look for the truth, you're definitely governed by judgment. Okay. There's so many people governed by judgment, ego. Oh, good Lord, ego is huge. None of those are of God. Ego, psychologically speaking, is a false concept of the mind. Straight up. And there's so much of that even in the spiritual realm. There's so much of it everywhere. It's not easy. Okay. This is why people won't choose to go. Too many lessons to still learn. We make it not easy, but in truth, it's easier than we think. Hello, Raja. It's hard to say who's here. Numbers go up and down and it looks like nobody's here. So I'm glad you said hello. So I need to tell you guys, having so many energies come against me all at one time became overwhelming. It is united we stand and united they fall. If you cannot let go of the shackles that bind and align with the one that brought it through with love, with God in the heart space, and be governed by the heart rather than the shadow, you won't make it. I've watched it happen. Okay. So we've got to, I don't want to say fear doesn't exist. Fear is not of God. It's not about fear. It's about power. Okay. What we've got to do is be in your power. You've got to take it seriously. Protections are required every day. Heart-centered connectedness, co-creation with spirit. If you cannot hear God in your heart space, you better believe you got a lot of healing to go. A lot. Because that's what that means to be balanced alignment. You have to be in balance, right? So if I do something too much, I'm not in balance. I have to have equal balance of all parts of homeostasis. Full power. Heart space, guided balance. That means I'm guided by the heart space. I hear the calls from the heart space. I am co-creating with God, with spirit, with my heart every day. I choose joy and love first over everything. And when all those energies tried to pull me out, it got bad. And I literally asked God, am I supposed to carry people? And he said, no. And I didn't see what was coming. We have to be able to carry our own weight, and we have to be able to listen to the heart space. I know this because I'm not just like De La Roca. Okay. I'm not channeling it. He sees what I do after I do it. If you're not new to this channel and you've watched everything I've done, I do something and then somebody like De La Roca sees it within 24 to 48 hours in the energy. Why is that? Does anybody know why that is? Everything I've done is in the Akashic Records. Every time I activated a pyramid, it was in the Akashic Records. You guys, do you remember the latest ones? I said there's going to be a lot of sinkholes. Have you seen those popping up? Oh, I got chills. I literally said, oh, the latest, what was it? Something I did recently. I don't know if it was when Horus returned. That was one of the most beautiful things. Oh, my DM's amazing. Oh, God, he is. I specifically said there's going to be sinkholes. So many sinkholes, exactly. And I had said that when I was activating pyramids and doing all these things. I processed the earth's death. I took her into heaven, to Garden of Eden. So she is dying to be reborn, just like all of us should be. But those that stay won't physically leave the planet. We have to be reborn into the wholeness of who we are. So either way you go, you have to rebirth. We're going to have probably a quarter to, was supposed to be at least maybe closer to half stay, but we're not there anymore. Holy crap. Your mom's yard has had a couple. Yeah, there was a big one in somewhere, Idaho or something. I took a picture of it. Their whole fields. It's the, that was when I was clearing out a lot of the caves. So there's a lot of tunnels in the earth, right? And when I was activating pyramids and things, when I did something to King Charles and Camilla, their skin fell off. When I was doing those things, they have all these underground tunnels. If you watch the videos, you would know this, okay? When I activate pyramids, when I would do all of this stuff, I've exposed all of the darkness for you. And I said, they're going to crumble and fall. When I did Mount Shasta, he was under Mount Shasta, Archangel Samael, and I crumble them, okay? And there was a sinkhole somewhere where there was underground mines or something. They just collapsed. Just randomly collapsed. This is going to be commonplace. Okay. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know. I took a screenshot of it to find my screenshots, but it just recently happened. Okay. So there's a lot of sinkholes. I'll find it later. There's a lot of sinkholes coming. But the thing is if you watched my videos, you would know that. Because I talked about it. But see, I'm not normal. I just recently posted the Incas and the rebirth of Mayans. And how many people watch that? It's because you're not awake enough to see it. What does that mean that I'm not awake enough? I'm awakening. I'm awakening. I'm awakening. I can see the earth is fake, but I'm not awake enough? No. You're not. Because if you cannot hear God right now in the heart space, you are not awake enough. What does that mean? That means you have healing to do. Shadow healing, karma healing to do. The more healing you do, the more you can see. You can't fully see me at first, I guarantee you, until you heal enough. You can't hear God 2222 in the heart space until you're healed enough. And we know we don't have time. Okay. I saw one of the Native American elders. He has a video that he did recently. And he said, one of the common misconceptions or the downfalls of humankind is thinking you have time. One of the things that they teach their tribes is that you don't have time. Time is not on your side. How long ago did I clear Mount Shasta Part 2? Oh, all truth too. So the volcano in Italy is about to erupt and they're not even telling their people. I saw a video on that on YouTube too. I erupted Kilimanjaro 3 times and that supposedly was a dormant thing. Underwater volcanoes. There's lots going on you guys don't know. Not to mention all the lies they told you. Religion 2323. Somebody look that up. Religion ties. You're waiting for a man named Jesus. Jesus is here on this planet. But he's not just Jesus. He's my DM. The bride of Christ. All the darkness we cleared. I almost died. How many times? And then the shadow just tried to rip me back out. And it ain't happening. You guys, I felt the divide that I worked so hard to create of my DM and I. And I fought hard to get that back. I'm not letting it go. So there will be resistance on you the whole way. That's the shadow. That's the karma, the ego, the shackles that bind you, fear, judgments. They will try to take you away from God. Why? Because you're the only power they have. You are the only power they have because they're void of light. Some people think that God is smart and he created the shadow. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Do you really know what happened to Adam and Eve? So it wasn't just Samael coming down and just enticing Eve. They got all kinds of people to go against and pull against that light. And I felt that again. They entice you with with things of the matrix. Temptations. Does that mean we can't have fun? Hell no. I can have a little fun. (2323) symbolizes peace and boldness. I like that. So we're a little bit confused on what it takes to get into the new earth. And De La Roca said it, right? I didn't watch his video, but even he talks about it. And this is what I talked about the whole entire time. I was activating pyramids, shifting the poles. You guys, I didn't just shift the poles. I created 5 more. Do you know what that means? You think your weather's changing because their chemicals are spraying into the air? No. No. They shortened your lifespan. They messed with your seasons. Yes, they did. They did it different ways. It wasn't just the chemtrails. Those chemicals are actually the COVID, the disease, the sicknesses. I saw it. I've done healings on people recently, and that's what they're doing. Chemtrails. So we are misconstrued on everything that has happened. These sinkholes I talked about. I already said they were coming for you. The earthquakes I've talked about. Mount Shasta cracking down the mountainside all the way down the fault line. Those are all in the videos and the work that I've done. Okay, so being able to see the truth is one component to the entirety of it all. Because if you can't see the truth, it's because you're not connected to the heart space. How does De La Roca know what I did within 48 hours of me doing it? He's connected to his heart space. Everything is in the Akashic records. That is true. That's why some people can see it. There was one video I posted about the eclipse, and she specifically said, it is time to let all karma go and all shadow go. People don't even know what that means. Great. What does that mean? Can't carry wounds forward. Lisa wrote about 2323. So if that resonates with you, that is your message. Okay. What it means to let all of that go and to rise through love, through the heart space into the new earth is beyond what we understand because we've never been taught that. All the modalities you see out there are fragments of the one. It takes multiple components, which is why I have to ascend them. I talked recently about having to ascend Reiki. Okay. Everything is a fragmented piece of the one. And it has to come back together to be whole. If you see how I do healing sessions, I do everything. Anything of the light, anyways. It's quite powerful. You know what, Roger? I want to read all of your comment. There's this little heart that comes up and I can't see the very bottom. So it says, I saw a video months ago talking about only 23% of humanity have souls. Yes. I don't know about 23%, but only about a quarter of the population is going to make it. Now, here's the thing about that too, is some of the people that still have souls are not going to rise. Okay. But Spirit does talk about that. There's fillers. They don't have souls. You think aliens aren't real? They're walking amongst you. We all have components of multiple things. But this is what they were trying to do, is change your DNA. Why would they want to do that? Because the sun was reactivated. The moon was healed and realigned. And you have to activate all the way to return to the one. So does the DNA activation mean you're going to get something that's not of you? No. You have dormant DNA within you. Okay. There's dormant chakra systems that you should be able to activate too. You have to upgrade and repair your central nervous system so you aren't viable to accept. That's exactly right. 2929. If you took those V's, you're not viable to ascend. You can argue that with me all you want. Plus, it's killing people. How many people you know that have had injuries, young people dying randomly? Have you paid attention? They're actually trying to sue. All these states are trying to sue Pfizer and all those companies for injuries due to the V. Why is that happening? Because as I brought in the ascension, those that actually did the work with me and watch all the videos know that part of it is DNA activations. To get into the new earth, Revelations 21:12 talks about this. You have 13 gates of trials and tribulations, not 12, because the 13th is the new earth. When I dried the Nile, I opened up and brought back heaven. Okay? So there's 13 gates, not 12. And through each ascension portal that's rising, that's a gate. Those are because of the pyramids that I activated. Those are the portals. That's what caused them. That's what created them. It's my blueprint. You don't have to believe me. Watch the work. If you don't want to ascend through me, then don't. If you want to throw judgment my way, then okay. More power to you, but it's not going to get you into the new earth. Because I won't play small anymore. I love you all, and I love everybody, and God is love. Okay, but we can't bring the matrix with us. So the 13 gates, we are tested through testaments of our own soul. These are where you have let go of love through judgment, through money control, through fear, through ego, whatever it is. Whatever it is, believing into religion, anchoring into some fear-based disease that didn't really, it was man-made. And it didn't even do half the carnage they said it did. When we were on lockdown and they said the hospitals were full, no, they weren't. I was driving around. Roger, you're a hybrid. Hybrids. What are hybrids to you? Define hybrids for me and I'll tell you if they're real or not. Okay? I'm a Pleiadian, but I'm also a direct descendant of God. Okay? We're all mutts, but we have to be DNA viable to activate to the wholeness of who we are under the creation of God. If you can't do that, you won't make it. That's why they push the V. And they're being sued. There was actually a military doctor guy, I can't remember his name, who was coming out saying it has foreign DNA and it's changing your DNA. And he got, I don't know where he went. Okay. When I do, if you watch the videos on here, the pyramid activations, especially Kilimanjaro, demolishing the White House, one where Charles and Camilla's skin falls off because they are actual darkness. So it was the USA and the monarchy that created the V and the pokey thingy. I don't, got to watch what we say. God forbid we speak truth. It was them. Wasn't China. Nope. We owe them lots of money. So of course we're trying to take them down. Had nothing to do with them. So everybody here, Roger, is a little bit of alien-esque. Okay, we need to broaden that term. One of the first things I found out before I knew who I really was I was Pleiadian. And I went around for like going, I'm an alien? Like, what does that mean? So we have a limited scope of being human. What does being human mean? You're minimal if you're not activated with your DNA, but you all carry DNA of God. God is not just a simple complex thing. It's all encompassing. So are we related to some aliens? Yeah, you could say that. Not to mention we went into Pleiades, so we're in 7D. Okay, have you noticed that even science is saying that our solar system has shifted? Those that actually did the work with me, can you please speak? Because I need to discuss, and it's hard for people to understand that I took us into 7D. You have to watch all the videos. There's 2 of those. In the first one, I activated the dormant chakra system, and I watched myself be reborn in Lake Titicaca. I got the white flame back. I carry the white flame. That's my heart. It was brought back. I resurrected from Lake Titicaca. The sun was reborn. You have to watch it. And then in part 2, I took the earth through a black hole, which was the Sphinx. It was the portal of time, and that's also where Horus rose from later on. So this is a little bit beyond our mind, right? But if you watch the videos more than once, you're going to see, you can't deny it. I didn't even know it was happening until it happened. Until I did it. And then I was like, what did I just do? Okay. So taking us into 7D instead of 5D was not expected. Why did that happen? Yes, so Lisa's saying we are in the Pleiades galaxy. That's real. You guys, I took the Earth through a black hole and we anchored into 7D, which they said was Pleiadian galaxy. Then I have brought in 6 new planets. So those that actually did all the work with me, that rose with me, have 10 chakras now on their inner main line, not 7. You have to evolve. That's why if you're not DNA viable, that's why they messed with the DNA before this came through. They weren't stupid. They knew it was coming. So you've been enslaved, basically, all of mankind, not if you're white or purple or black, all of you were. And controlled. Okay. Now, how did this happen? That's a great question. The original fallen was Archangel Samael. And he burned in Mount Shasta Part 2. And he enticed others to fall too. So when I was almost killed uniting with my twin flame, I didn't know this at the time. I don't even know if Amy's still here. She's not commenting at all, and people keep coming in and out. But she would know this because she helped save my life in this part. She was going through with me. She was in my Alchemy Academy for a reason. God said, teach her how to heal. So I did. And at that same time, I was attacked by 3 fallen angels. And I didn't know that. That was when we were battling the deep blue sea. The first battle was Atlantis, Adam and Eve. That's when I rose, when I activated the chakra system, dormant chakra system. Those are in my playlist, you guys. These are actual workshops where I did the things, okay? You have to watch them. I literally rose. They made me stop because I was activating dormant chakra systems for the earth and for mankind if they rise, if they heal enough and they rise. And unfortunately, even De La Roca isn't telling everybody all of these components, but he's telling you some of the most important ones. So those dormant chakra systems taking us into 7D instead of 5D all happened because I had to battle my own twin flame and I almost died. Oh, really? Okay, is that why the number keeps going up and down? Amy's here, she says, but she had to help heal me, okay? And that was scary for both of us. It was scary for both of us, you guys. To be attacked by fallen angels is partly why I look like I do now compared to when I started this channel. And I got a lot of chills saying that. The pain that I endured and almost not making it through was very real. And losing my original twin flame was also very real. People will say we don't die. Well, who he was, he did die. And I got a walk-in. And my walk-in, let me tell you, has earned his right to be here. But I had to battle what God called the deep blue sea. And Amy says it was a painful process to help heal. Yes, it was. It took her, she worked hard to help me heal that. That wasn't normal. So what an attack by 3 fallen angels looked like, I don't know how I survived. That's why God called me mahogany. It hurt my teeth. My teeth were destroyed. It took all the life out of me. All the life. My bones hurt. My solar plexus was shattered, completely shattered. I think that happened to me 3 or 4 times bringing through the return of Christ. Solar plexus is what they would attack first, always, because that's your power center, right? That's also where I puked up my first snake upgrading. Not only that, so it was like so painful. And she was like pulling out like this energetic sword or something. They shattered my arm. Okay. If you notice, my arm is not normal. You want to know the story of my arm? The true story of my arm? My daughter's birthday is when it happened. My DM and I, God brought us together after my Kundalini awakening, and I didn't believe in twin flames, okay? I was not spiritual. I was psychology. I was working in behavioral. This was not my path, okay? I had my Kundalini awakening. My life suddenly changed and shifted. I could hear things. I could see things. I saw the Bible. I saw words popping out and being destroyed. You know, I saw all of these things. And then I started healing people. in crazy ways I never saw coming. I would come outside of my body and I could see myself as a white mist. And I was doing all these crazy things, okay, that I couldn't explain, that nobody could explain to me. It was crazy. Then suddenly I had to move, like my whole life shifted, and I ended up 2 doors down from my twin soul. And I didn't know I had a twin flame. I didn't know. Again, didn't believe in them. I thought everybody just really wanted love, you know? I know what that was. So I didn't expect it. Okay. And we came in contact and I felt this pop in my heart space. It was like poop. And I'm like, what was that? And then all these emotions rose. And once that happened, we had a hard time getting along. We kept butting heads. Like it was really hard. Like our wounds rose, you know what I mean? And the DM runs. And so we separated for a little bit. And in that, some bad things happened. I think he had like 5 relationships in that time, and I found somebody else too, which was not supposed to happen. And then God kept telling me I was going to get married, and God's like, that's not love. You're going to have another choice. And so the next thing I knew, August 13th, I think it was, of 21, my DM came to me and said he loved me. And boom, a sudden awakening into who we were went deeper. I pushed Sean, the guy I was with, away immediately. But my DM didn't. They said he was with a fallen angel. And then the next thing I knew, our souls went like this. And I heard the music and I felt so much love. And I saw that it was life or death for me. They showed me that. And I was like, what does all this mean? You know, it was overwhelming. And all of a sudden I was connected to somebody. Like, I don't think you guys understand what that feels like. Actually, probably don't, because that's not normal. Okay. And God kept pushing him. You can watch the videos. God kept trying to tell him, hey, come align. And he didn't. He ended up taking off with a fallen angel. It was a few months later, my arm was destroyed. Okay. But in that time, they said, be strong. You're a warrior. And I didn't know what that meant either. I had to battle the shadow for a year. And I won his soul back. But in the end, he wasn't strong enough, and he chose to not. He wouldn't have been able to rise anyways because he had a black hole in his heart. So God said enough, gave him one final opportunity. I kept begging. I didn't want to be hurt anymore. And he died, and I got a walk-in on August 30th of 22. Then we completed the dome, and then by Christmas, I united Jesus and Mary Magdalene's soul and undid the Holy Grail. Okay. But in the time that I was battling for a whole freaking year, I was battling for my own soul, my DM, myself. Everything came at me, from mental torture to spiritual torture and warfare to the attack that was so crazy because my DM finally agreed to go against it. And then we were attacked. And when I was attacked, there were 3 fallen angels, you guys, and my solar plexus was shattered. On my daughter's birthday, I had a freak accident. I couldn't create if I tried. I just lightly just fell. It's like just kind of going on your butt. And my arm went, my whole entire arm went up into my wrist and locked my fingers like that. The whole thing was severed. This bone right here, what is this, your ulna? I think this is your ulna because your radius feels like this one moves, okay? This one splintered. It literally split in half. And I have a scar right here where the bone popped out. You want to know? It was disgusting. Okay. So fallen angels attacked me physically, spiritually, emotionally, every which way. And it was killing my DM and it was taking the life out of me. Okay. My bones took a hit. I swelled up. My solar plexus took a hit. My teeth took a hit. I went to the dentist and they're like, I don't know what all this pain is from. And God kept saying, just heal, just heal. So I had to replenish every bit of life within me. Amy, they had told me, teach her how to heal. And so I did. I started the academy then. And then I had to call her. I don't remember. It was like in the middle of the night, I felt the attack. They blew out my solar plexus. Okay. The arm happened on my daughter's birthday. It's a freak accident. And I'm like, you can see it's not right. Okay. I couldn't have surgery. I can't fully move it. It's not fully articulated, but I kept getting healings from spirit. Okay. Oh, so many angels. Jesus's energy came through. They did so many healings on me. I did healings on it. It was bad. But here's the reason why they did that. Because my DM had taken off with the fallen. Okay. And they talk about Eve eating the apple. Listen closely. I couldn't take pain meds. I couldn't go under the knife. I knew it. I heard it. Okay. And I'm getting chills as I said it. So not only did my bones split and pop out of my skin, my whole entire wrist was shattered. My arm was shoved up into my hand and my fingers locked like this. I went into shock at first. My kids saw it. It was not pretty. And it was just a simple little boop onto my butt, just like a boop right on my daughter's birthday. I've never broken a bone. My bones are not weak, by the way. I heard I couldn't go under. I couldn't get surgery. They were trying to force me to have surgery at the hospital. They're like, "We can't leave you like that." And you know what they did? No pain meds, no nothing. They gave me a little bit of something and they said, "We're going to put you to sleep." But I never went under. Hear me. I never went under. I was awake and I felt the whole entire thing, and they squeezed my bones back into place and then casted it. And somehow it healed so fast and miraculously, they took the cast off in like 5 weeks. And then at that time, I was attacked by 3 fallen angels even more. They blew out my solar plexus. Amy had to help me. Now, when Amy was helping me heal that, we had to repair this. There was like all this black tar within my chakra systems, right? Entities are real. They will attack you. They're absolutely real. It's just exorcisms aren't what they make them seem. That's not how you heal it. I know. So she had to remove all this black tar and it hurt her too. It was a lot. And then I ended up puking up like styrofoam and cockroaches. It was like Shawshank Redemption type stuff, all of my bones, my teeth, and they've still been like not right since. My body was horrible. Okay. So this is why my original DM didn't end up making it. Okay. In the end, he was too weakened. He wasn't strong enough. And he thought by becoming a walk in and coming to me whole, that that's what I deserved. So he chose to sacrifice, and I chose the sacrifice, and I got a walk in. And then we completed the Dome of Light. Okay. Then Jesus and Mary Magdalene were resurrected. I united our souls back, and I undid the Holy Grail on Christmas Day shortly after that. Okay. So that was months apart. So that was attacks by fallen angels. And God called me mahogany. I wasn't supposed to survive. They planned on me not making it. They planned on the ascension not making it. But because I held strong against my own DM, against all darkness, won his soul back, completed all removal of darkness on this earth by myself, I took us into 7D instead of 5D. I took us further. I removed more darkness than I was originally supposed to. I just kept going. Nothing stopped me. And it won't to this day. And it tries. Okay. So when I got a walk-in DM, I had to carry part of his soul for a minute and his light. And that's also when my body took another hit. So I swelled up. I gained all this weight through all of it. I should have died. I've got blood clots that broke free, went to my head. They had to do healings on. You can watch that in the pyramid activations and stuff. Spirit would have to stop and remove it. And then my speech was messed up for like a month. I was like, it was bad. Like they had to heal it to where it was like a slow release of the blood flow back to my head. So the reason I'm telling you that is I'm going to tell you right now, the shadow is very real. Darkness is very real. Okay. Very. I don't like how they say mankind was created by the Anunnaki. You all, if you have God in you, you carry God in you. That's all that matters. Okay. Are you a direct descendant of God? Not necessarily. You did come from the gods of time. Prometheus actually said he's the god of humankind. That came through when I started really clearing darkness of the earth. And you can see that too on this channel. But you are God. God is within your heart. And that's what it means to align. You have to heal all shadow. Please don't eliminate your karma. So many people, including one of these Reiki healers that I actually like him. Like I really do. I don't like I avoid some things because they just have shadow, right? But this one guy, they call him the Crystal Jesus. I really like him, but he even started cutting karmic ties. That's a shadow. Please don't do that. In the path to righteousness, I actually bring all your karma to the surface because you have to heal it. And that's what they talked about during the eclipse. It's time to give up all of your pain, all of your wounds, all of the lessons you needed to learn. All of your karma has to be healed. And that's Revelations 21:12. But there's 13 gates, not 12. And when I dried the Nile, we opened up the 13th gate. Heaven was returned here. It wasn't here. I closed down all 12 gates of darkness, and I opened up all 13 to heaven on earth. But if you don't rise through your choices, you won't make it. That's not punishment. God doesn't judge. God loves you all. God is unconditional love. That's another misconception. Okay, a big one. People think that judgment day means that they're going to be judged. The only thing it means is, did you let go of everything that doesn't align? That's what alignment means. Alignment from the heart space means if you have any shadow you didn't heal, any karma you didn't heal, you have to eliminate all your karma. Karma is created through the things getting in our head, convincing us and confusing us to what it means to fall from God. It's just anywhere you dim your light, anywhere you create things within yourself. So judgment, fear, ego, the shackles that bind, okay? The control of the mind. That's why meditation is important. Why do you think that that's a big thing? You have to take your power back from the mind and go within your heart. Exactly. Free will. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa says we have our own choices and therefore we create our own reality. Yes. Free will. Jesus didn't die for your sins. That takes away free will. That doesn't make sense. He was murdered. He was tortured. They ripped apart Jesus and Mary Magdalene's soul. And then they wrote a contract in Jesus's blood they called the Holy Grail. And that is what I undid on Christmas Day. That's what God calls the resurrection, okay? And that's why they hung him on a cross, because they broke the ankh, okay? They separated masculine and feminine, and they stole his soul, and I fought for a whole year to get that back. And I almost died. That's when my arm was shattered. That's everything, okay? It was not a joke. So they're going to try to stop you. They don't want you to rise because you're their only power. They don't have power. They don't have that light. So when Roger said, is 23% of humanity filler souls? There is a bunch of souls here that don't have the light. Yes. I wouldn't put a number on it. You can't do that. I would be very careful where there is number and dates, because God would never do that. Their time is not our time. It doesn't align. So just be careful with that. But what I do see ascending is maybe a quarter of the population, if we can get it together. Okay. We got to know what we're looking for. We got to know what to do. De La Roca has 98% of it right for you. Okay. But he sees what I do. If you watch what I do, when I do it, he will see them in the energy, because it's written in the Akashic records. And if anybody's connected to that light without shadow clouding it, they can see it. But where you can't see is the shadow. That was the veil. That was Mount Shasta. And those who know me know I didn't do this painting. This painting was my energy before I did the work. Somebody else did it in 2020. There was Saturn with Hermes. I sat on Saturn and rose Atlantis. Then I cleared Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta was filled with souls. Samael got the masculine to murder a feminine there, and the bloodshed. And then from there, it was just tons of bloodshed required. They stole the earth's root chakra and put it there, and created the false veil, hence the triangle with the eye. I had to return all of that back to Fiji. Why do you think in the Truman Show he's trying to escape to Fiji? God showed me that after too. I was like, in the Truman Show, he was being manipulated by the man on the moon, right? They were controlling his reality, and he kept trying to escape to Fiji. If you watch what I did, I undid all the darkness of the moon. There was a satellite that fell, and I said, the next time they listen to you, their ears are going to bleed. That was the very first darkness of the removal of the darkness of the moon, and I did multiple. Okay, which created that crust on the moon. And then when Horus rose, I broke off that crust, and a brand new moon was like reborn, and it's like pulsating and growing and moving. The return of Christ is much more than just a man named Jesus. It is never just a man named Jesus. That's why they broke the cross. They separated the masculine from the feminine, and it began with Adam and Eve. So you see all these videos about the difference between Jesus and Horus. They're the same soul. Different lifetimes. And you can watch that play out on my channel. Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys, we are running out of time. If you are not aligned to your heart space and co-creating with God, you are not hearing God. And you better heal your way to it. Any shadow, any karma, you have to heal it, not eliminate it. Do not burn your karmic ties. Do not cut your ties. And a lot of healers are doing that. That is a detriment. Because then when it comes time that you're in that gate, you can't see the lesson. You don't get to come back another lifetime and do it next time. Okay? God is all about free will. You have your own choices. So Jesus could not have ever died for your sins. And God would not sacrifice. There is no sacrifice in God. God is not bloodshed. God is not death. God wouldn't, hey, pray to a cross with my dead son on it. Something's not right about that. When you really know what happened to Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene and Sekhmet and Horus, it's not right. You know how Jesus died, right? What do they do in church? Communion. What is communion? They feed you the bread and wine. John the Apostle poisoned Jesus with bread and wine. And it took him 20, 30 minutes to slowly burn from the inside out. And he bled out of every orifice. And then they forced Mary, who was covered in his blood and distraught, because that was her twin flame. They don't live long after each other. You have to be together. They forced her to take his blood in a cup, which then they took and wrote a contract written in Hebrew. You can watch that unfold. It happened live through me on Christmas Day in 22. And it is on this channel. I did it live on this channel. Didn't know it was coming. Okay. It was very painful to undo. And as I was undoing it, all that blood fell off of that contract. It was written in Hebrew, and I started reading it, and I'm like, I'm not reading that. But what it essentially did was rip Jesus and Mary Magdalene's soul apart. And it broke the cross. And it enslaved with the contract all of humankind. That is why we had the anointing of the blood of Christ. That is why we cleansed with his blood. And that did happen too. That happened before I undid the Holy Grail. And not everything got the anointing. Some waterways did, not all. So I'm going to tell you right now, there's even going to be contamination of waterways. There already is, Spirit saying. So pay attention. Drink filtered water. Not everybody got the anointing. Okay? If we are not capable of getting to the point where we can see the truth, elimination of the false veil, and we can rise through the heart opening. That's why it's called balanced from the heart center. You have to release all shadow and all karma, not cutting those ties. This is so serious because those are contracts, okay? They're contracts you wrote under God's creation, meaning it's your agreeing to learn the lessons. There's somebody else on those other side of those contracts or multiple people. Usually your family ties is a great cursor to where your karma is. And if you cut ties to those karmic ties, if you burn them and eliminate them, you cannot rise. The shadow's even working through the spiritual community, through healers, through them all. It depends on what you're governed by. If you're governed by love and helping others and showing up for God, no matter what comes against you, you're less likely to hurt other people or to let the shadow govern you to do so. But if you're governed by money, judgment, ego, fear, power, control, you're not listening to God. And if you hesitate for 1 second from listening to that heart nudge, you're listening to something else. The most important thing you can do is go inward to your heart space And if you're afraid of your emotions, that's because they're so backed up, sunshine. Medications, any substances of any kind, you cannot fully heal. Let me repeat myself. Medications of any kind and substances of any kind in your system, you cannot fully heal. The medical field has its own karmic kickback. Money has its own karmic kickback. Okay? If you're afraid of the truth, that's not God. God doesn't judge you. They will convince you God is something he is not. Religion is a detriment. What happened to Adam and Eve didn't really happen the way you think it happened. Watch my videos and you'll know what happened. I had to battle a false goddess. That was when we were battling the deep blue sea. My arm was attacked. And they literally just had to squeeze my bones back together. No pain meds, no nothing. That way, because if I went under, my DM wouldn't be able to see. If Eve was out of balance, Adam couldn't see. Then he was enticed. Same thing happened this lifetime. That's the only soul we didn't call back because that's who we are. It's not Jesus you're looking for. It's Adam and Eve, who is also Jesus and Mary Magdalene, who is also Sekhmet and Horus. And this has all played out on this channel. It's the Hopi prophecy. And why can De La Roca see it? At least most of it. Because he's governed by the heart space. By God. True God, not a false God. It's also written in the Akashic records, which is why some people can see certain things. But anywhere the shadow lies, they cannot fully see. Okay? So I had to talk about that because even when some got into the new earth, they tried to bring the matrix with them. It's like, oh, cool, we're here, we're done. No, you cannot carry the matrix with you. Money cannot control you. Fear cannot control you. Ego cannot control you. It doesn't matter. None of that stuff will survive. The only thing that's going to survive are those that rise through God. We will have abundance. We will have beauty. We will have grace. We will not suffer. But your karma will play out if you don't clear it. That's why they call it the wrath. What is done in the light cannot be taken by darkness and done in the darkness anymore. And what was done in the darkness cannot be carried into the light anymore. That was said during the resurrection, or was it the anointing of the blood of Christ? It was one of those two. You cannot take the darkness into the light, and you cannot have the light with the darkness anymore. My very first workshop was the division of all darkness and light on the earth, and the removal after that of all darkness. And if you try to carry any of that shadow with you, you can't make it. That is the wrath of God. You will play out your karma in these final days. That's why you don't want karma. You can't cut ties with the karma and you can't burn those contracts, or you will play it out. It'll be on repeat until your last breath. You won't be able to clear it. You won't be able to choose love over it. You have to wake up enough to see. You have to choose love the whole way through all 13 gates. Unconditional love. And you have to let go of the shackles that bind you. Money cannot guide you. Fear cannot guide you. Ego cannot guide you. Wounds cannot guide you. You have to be in your full power. You have to be willing to stand alone. You have to be willing to be judged. You have to be willing to speak the truth. So those that rose with me that were afraid to put me to the surface and show what happened, that's judgment. They're no longer there. Guys, it's really serious. And I don't mean to oust anybody, but we have to understand the difference because nobody does this intentionally. The shadow wreaks havoc, and it uses every weakness you have. It will use every weakness you have. So if you're afraid to lose your home, if you're afraid of people judging you, if you're afraid to be alone, if you're constantly living through that lens, it's going to hurt you. It's going to use it against you. It uses everything it has against you. I literally watched so many people rise with me, and then the shadow got in and tried to even pull me out. I'm kind of the only one left there. It's heartbreaking. So when I tell you something, take it seriously. If you are not co-creating with God every day, you're not governed by the heart space. If I spark your shadow and you throw judgment my way, you are not governed by unconditional love. It is a reflection of you. I will do that tenfold. I can only reflect you. That's God. You cannot fool anything. You cannot bypass anything. Our vibration needs to be so high. And we have to be in balance from the heart center. So governed by the heart, focused inward, compass inward, and all shadow and karma healing. Not removed, but ready to finally let it go, to heal it, to learn the lesson once and for all, and to choose love, because we are all connected through that light in the heart space where I rose at Lake Titicaca, which was also the rebirth of the Incas and Mayans recently. Yeah. So if you watch the dormant chakra system activation video that was done back in 2021 or something like that, 2022, maybe June, I don't remember. They're all there. Watch that one. I was reborn in Lake Titicaca and I got my white flame back. That's where Eve died in Atlantis. Okay. It's so high, the mountains there, water shouldn't really technically exist. There is a city under there as well. They discovered shortly after. That was the hub of Atlantis. And it stretched back to Machu Picchu and all of that. Okay. So you want to call that the Garden of Eden? Hello. That's where I died, is Eve. Okay. Adam, they knocked us out of balance and got many people to help with that. That's the Lemurian Atlantis War. Okay. The divide came in, the fallen came in, got people through their head to make choices to go against God, to throw judgments against Eve, to throw judgments against Adam. They got divided out of balance. And then Adam chose a false goddess. And Eve died. And the flame went out. Boop! God was removed. Okay. And then there were some that were still of the light that escaped to Ireland, where we went recently. And I returned the full power of the sun. And that is when they started shortening your lifespan and messing with the moon. Okay. So I rose there. That's where Eve was reborn, was Lake Titicaca. That's where the sun was reborn. So why am I Eve and Sekhmet, the sun? It's all together. It's the same soul. And if you watch that unfold through the return of Christ, we call back all of those fragments as we go. My DM called back Jesus' soul and Horus. And I tried to show you guys this many times. And I got Sekhmet and Eve and Mary Magdalene. The only ones we didn't fragment come back was Adam and Eve. But I was reborn. When I was reborn at Lake Titicaca, the white flame came back. And I built a pyramid. And that's what they call the sacral chakra. Okay. So it's all there. There's a lot we don't understand. And these are also the portals you have to rise through. So if you can't see, it's because there's shadow. Heal it. The more you heal, the more you see. You have to be governed by the heart space, your own power. You can't be afraid to be alone. You can't be afraid to stand out. We're not here to fit in. We are here to change the world. You can't do that by being worried about other people's judgments. Sweet, Amy. Thank you. I love it. I'm glad you're here today. You cannot be governed by people's judgments, fear, money. You know what? Anything that tried to come against me, fine, do it. I don't care. My own father did that to me. Oh, if you date a black man, I'm going to disown you. Okay. Fucking disown me. So he did. When he died, I had to pay for everything. The last word he said to me when he was alive is go fuck yourself. Then when he died, it was a really crazy thing. That's what sparked my awakening. I actually got an I love you before he was going. I don't even want to talk about that whole story because that wasn't supposed to happen. He was already on life support. They said he wouldn't wake up. He was brain dead. I pulled the plug and I begged him to wake up and he did. And I got an I love you and I got everybody to see him for a week and then he died on Valentine's Day. But I'm going to tell you right now is the world is way more massive than you think it is. Okay. Don't let anything manipulate you. Don't let anybody hurt you through love. That's not love. Conditional love is not love. Tough love is not love. Mm-mm. And my poor new DM, has taken the brunt of it all. And I love him. He has earned his way through the whole thing by sticking by me, never giving up, still being there. He's a sweetheart. 11111. God chose right. That is also your divine masculine. He's a good man. Pure heart. Through it all, since I got the walk-in, he took a brunt of it all, right? Like it's been rough. And he has stayed right by me the whole time. Never faltering, never giving up. He doesn't fall prey to the shadow. You can't fall prey to the shadow. Okay? So those that actually stayed with me, I'm going to pivot over and I'm going to give you messages because I told you I would. So who wants messages? I've got all my cards here. I didn't lie about that, but I had to talk about this seriously because we're running out of time. You don't have time. If you have burned contracts, if you can't see clearly, you better heal. Lisa says, yes. You better align and you better be in balance from the heart center. And any lesson that comes up, choose unconditional love. So if I spark your shadow and you throw the shadow at me, is that choosing unconditional love? No. But if you do it, how can you rectify that? I'm sorry. I see it clearly. I see how I affected you. I'm here and I will rise above. Okay. All right. So we got Lisa, Amy, and then Roger. Thanks for staying with me, guys. De La Roca said it beautifully. Align from the heart center. It's aligned balance. And this is exactly what I keep talking about. You have to hear the call from God. If you can't, heal it until you can. Because that's where your shadow lies. Okay? If you are not co-creating every day, you're not there yet. Not co-creating with the shadow, because it's either God or something else. Keep that in mind. All right. Lisa, Amy, and Raja. Don't let me forget that order. My ear is hurting a little bit. So I'm like, what is this? But recently I had to get all these healings and realign with my DM and it kicked my ass. I don't know if I'm going to do day 2 yet, but of the alignment back to the 1, I don't know. I've also got our course at 3:33. So, but I'm healing it and he's there. I felt him in the morning and I was so happy. Oh my God, I was so happy. I just cried. I didn't quite feel his love, but I know he was there. He heard me. So it was good. All right. So we have Lisa. Let me tune into your energy. I need water. You need more water. You need more water and you need sunshine. Excuse me. Lisa, you need water and you need more sunshine. I feel parched. I feel really parched going into your energy. I almost feel like my cheeks are red. And for some reason, I've been drawn to, so loneliness is overcoming. Loneliness is overcoming me. I feel like I'm in like this whirlwind of information. I feel like I'm all alone. That card where it's like I'm all alone, feeling all alone. But you're not alone. Let the light be your guide. So this is part of the return of Christ. We have to have moments of aloneness. We have to be alone because in that lonely time, we don't commingle with other people's energy. We commingle with our own, right? So we can see clearly and we can heal the shadow. We can choose the right choices and we can rise above. But right now, I feel like there's this void. Like I really, truly just need some love, you know? Oh. And for some reason, excuse me, that was me connecting with your energy and releasing some of that for you. Every time I'm with you, Lisa, I hear Cat Stevens. This song is Miles from Nowhere. Miles from nowhere. Guess I'll take my time. Oh, yeah. To reach there. Look up at the mountain. I have to climb. Oh, yeah. To reach there. Lord, my body has been a good friend, but I won't need it when I reach the end. Miles from nowhere. Guess I'll take my time. You need to listen to that song. Yep, I've mentioned that one before. The whole thing is playing out now. I feel like I was just about to serenade you all. So I don't know why I'm pulling this deck for you, but I am. Let me see. Lord, my body. So what I'm hearing here is you need to nurture your body, your vessel. It's very important. It's very important. Pay attention to your vessel. As we rise through the ascension, our vessel is so important, okay? Our immune system has to be high because there is a virus matrix wall, all right? The matrix created a virus wall. Everything is in there. In the path to righteousness, I undo that for you. But your immune system, Lisa, is low, okay? Listen to this card that I just pulled. Oh, the chills, the chills, the chills. Okay, so the song is part of the message we're going to dive into throughout, okay? So the mountain is not as big as you think it is. Remember in that self-sabotage course that I did, the mountain always seems so very big and like we can't climb it. This is in your energy. It's like I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I'm never going to get there. Did you even say that? I feel like you said that. Don't create that. I don't think you got a new karmic contract, Lisa. I needed to tell you that, but I was hoping you would have seen that on your own. You did not. Okay, you're still playing out yours a little bit. But I don't want you to think you created a new one. She did not, and I heard that loudly. Healing family issues. Your love life will benefit as you forgive your parents. I remember one of the first messages I gave you, Lisa, was that you were going to have dark nights of the soul that had to do with your parents. And at first you didn't know what that meant, right? And that got overwhelming. Yes. You're welcome. I was hoping you would have seen that, but I feel like you couldn't see it because it hurt, like you became afraid. And I felt that yesterday. You did not, but everybody else went back and got a new one. And I don't think they're big. Okay, they're not as big, but they do have to just let go of the matrix where they tried to carry it through. Yeah, I'm glad you felt that. You felt that you didn't, right? Am I clear on that? You didn't. You're still playing out yours, but it's just the same one. It's just the lessons that you're going through. You're still rising. And they can too. Okay. So, healing family issues. And then we have enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. We have these two came out together. So I was like, why am I pulling the relationship deck when I don't think that's what I want her to think right now? Because you still have some healing to do. But as you do this, you're going to come into a space where you're ready for your soulmate. Okay. That's what we're going for. You can't have karmic ties anymore, which is once we separate from karmic ties, we have to heal everything to align with our soulmate ties. Okay. That's what it's about. Plus, that little bit of time alone gives us time to remove all energy that is not ours and allows us to rise into those we can align with. But we have honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together, and healing family issues. Okay. So right now the focus needs to be on healing some of those karmic ties. Remember the dark night of the soul patterning that I would talk about. This is like a full circle moment, which is probably why I'm hearing the Cat Stevens song again for you. Okay. Both coming through at the same time. That's why Spirit said I had to detox. It was all this shadow got in through my ears. Excuse me. Because I'm feeling this external pain because I've been healing it. So forgive that. Okay. So I'm going to hold up this wand that I created. It's very relevant for you right now. All right. I'm just going to kind of cleanse your energy with it. If you see, it has a heart here. Kind of like Stonehenge. So somewhere in those family ties, there's like a heart that is not movable, right? Like it's like stone. I'm hearing that. Okay. I'm not done. Nope. Okay. Lord, my body has been a good friend, but I won't need it when I reach the end. Miles from nowhere. That's so loud. I guess I'll take my time. Oh, yeah. To reach there. So there's no rush. That's what I'm hearing. There is no rush. You need to take your time every second of every day and just worry about the moment you have. Stay in the here and the now. Miles from nowhere. I guess I'll take my time. Where exactly are you trying to go and in what hurry? You're already on the path. Alignment. You're on the path. Work through those fears. Okay, Lisa? Because I say we're running out of time does not mean that if you don't get it all done today, you ain't making it. Okay. If you're aligned, be on the path, be in the purpose of healing, listen intently inward every day, co-creation. That's the path you need to be on to make it. Okay. Be on the path. You're on the path. Focus on this family tie healing because there's karma rising there. You're going to be challenged very soon. It might have to do with some form of celebrations within the family, some form of maybe family reunion. I don't know. But what you're going to have to do is make sure you work through any triggers that come up in your family ties. Do not respond with anything except for unconditional love, not judgments. Do not throw judgments. You don't need to convince people what they do wrong. No. Soften. That's the stone heart. Soften, soften, soften. I get a lot of chills when I say that, soften. When it rises, it's going to trigger you. It's going to hurt. Okay? I'll get that to that, Roger. Thank you for letting me know. I will include that in your message energy, okay? But Lisa, this is just another lesson, okay? You're on the path. So I don't want you to be afraid. I don't want you to think you're not going to make it if you don't get through those gates before the time is up. That's not it at all. If we are aligned and we are working through that alignment, that's your goal, okay? Understand that's your goal. But if we are playing in the shadow, that's where we won't align, okay? So fear, work through those fears. Money, that's probably going to be a jab from somebody towards you. It's going to hit you. It's the stinger. You see the stinger? The stinger. Okay. It's very important. Very, very. This is not an easy task, but this has to do with forgiving your parents. And I get a lot of chills as I'm saying this. Okay. Every day, Lisa, you're looking to love more. That's the path. Every day you're looking to stand in your strength and put yourself out there. You're good. Okay. Sunshine, you are good. You are on the right path. You are on the right path to your heart center. So I need you to hear this. Okay. Because there's a misconception. And that's okay. It can be scary. It's not normal to watch people get kicked out of the new earth. It's not. But you can't bring the matrix with you, right? And the shadow will try to get you. So this test that's coming up for you has to do with that song too. Miles from nowhere, stay in the here and the now. I guess I'll take my time. Take your time with everything. Oh yeah. To reach there, I look up at the mountain I have to climb. Lord, my body. So you need to strengthen your immune system, and the mountain is not as big as you think it is. Okay? Strengthen your immune system. You need vitamin K, vitamin A, vitamin C, and some zinc, and some echinacea. Listen to your body and eat less toxic foods as you can. Okay? I got some beets and I actually cooked with them, and oh my gosh, it was good. Even my daughter was like, I want some of that. I was like, sweet. So just incorporate more healthy. Okay. But there's this misconception that it's too hard. You're not going to get there. The mountain's too big. And so if you're in that energy, that's fear. When this sting comes, it's going to blind you. Let it go. Okay. The mountain is small. You're on the right path. You did not get a new contract. Family issues are coming up here so that we can learn to coincide and love one another equally. Once you do that, that's a big karmic tie that's keeping you from the soulmate love. Okay? However, I have to reflect a little bit more on this challenge that's about to rise. This is an ascension challenge, and it does have, I feel your mother more than anything in this one. Not so much your father. You know your father's emotions are already rising, and that's healing a lot as it is. But your mother is Stonehenge. That's what I keep hearing, and I'm not trying to insult anybody. Please don't think that. But what I hear when I hear Stonehenge is that it's just very cold, like a very solid heart. It's hard to penetrate. It's hard to get through, and it's hard to get that love. Okay? And then, man, when she speaks, it's like daggers that stab right through your heart. And she's got one coming. Consider, though, these are her mother's wounds and her mother's mother's wounds. These are your generational ties. Also, it reflects through you when you speak to your children. Yeah. Thank you for validating that. So pay attention to the way your mother speaks to you and then the judgments you throw at your kids. Remember, conditional love is not love at all. Okay, just soften it. Remember, the first part of this message was what? Soften, soften, soften. Do not throw judgment ties. You don't need to change them. You need to love them. You saw that yesterday, actually? Yeah. So let's listen to these for how you should respond completely. So we have to release that. Okay. Release it. Release it. How do we release it? Number one, intention is everything. Spirit, I choose to release this. I choose to release this now. Okay. And I've also taught you in my academy how to cleanse your system, how to cleanse your chakras, how to open them up. Go in each chakra and release that tie. I go into my root and I release the ties of the Stonehenge, the cold heart. And I love my mother. I love my father. And I choose to hold them tight. I choose to love them through all of their pain so much they forget their pain exists. I throw no judgment. I throw only love. I love you. I love you. I love you. So whenever those come up, she says, oh my gosh, so much releasing right now. Yes. You don't need to tell her what she's doing wrong. You don't need to tell her what she's doing right. You just need to simply love and love harder. Bond. Bond through the heart. Soften it by not reflecting hers back to her. When she throws it, just love. Can you do that yet? Or is it going to sting? And then you react and respond by rebuttaling. Darn buffering. Oh, no buffering. I'm in my room, so I'm hardwired in. So I am sorry. No, they're saying one more card. Okay. So you need to be able to enjoy the time together. Amy's still here. Sweet. And I know Roger, hopefully he's still here too, because he's after Amy. These are free messages. Whoever joins, you can have one. Just got to be able to comment. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Right now, you feel uncomfortable being with them. Am I right? It's almost like I don't want to hear what she has to say. Roger's still here. And Lisa says yes. Okay. I don't want to hear what she's going to have to say. I don't want to hear her judgments. I need you to gain a new perspective. This is a karmic tie. Okay. And you also need balance from the heart center. Remember, I said what you need to do: balance, release, and bond. These are what I said you needed to do. Okay. Yeah. So when she throws her judgments your way, you do not have to convince her she is wrong. This shuts most people off. This is where we come back and forth. Well, I need to be heard and I need to be heard, when most of our relationship is felt. Doesn't mean we don't talk and converse. That's okay. But when somebody throws something your way, do not react. That's that stinger. This is a karmic tie. This is what you have to learn. Don't be afraid to express who you are, and know that her wounds are karmic tied. She's not healed. It's Stonehenge. My heart is very tough. My heart is tough, and I throw judgments galore. Like, she will judge the mail lady. I don't care. And then it's going to go both ways. So not just her from you, but you to them. So you to your kids as well. And your father. And your mother. Can you see the beauty that she is through the pain that she houses? Can you see what she truly means? Because she can't see. The way to get her to see is to respond in love. Unconditional love. Her wounds come from their wounds that come from their wounds. They actually carry in our gene pool. Okay? So you balance from the heart, release, and bond. And work through those fears. And then the song. Look up at the mountain. New perspective. The mountain is small. It's a molehill. Step over. Up your immune system, because you need your body. We need our bodies. Okay, we're not here to die right now. We're here to rise above. Can I get an amen? Through love. Okay, so up your immune system. Do not fear. Listen intently to the love and allow it to grow and reflect through you. But sunshine, it's going to be a blow. She's going to throw something at you. It's going to blow. It's going to hit you. And take your breath away. And in that, shine love and forgiveness. And that's it. I love you. I love you so much. Say that. And with your kids, just, I love you. Respond with that. Just, I love you. Okay? I won't argue with you. I love you. But you need to release, bond, and balance and work through your fears. Fear is an illusion of a shadow kind. Those are what take us from the love of the one. Okay? You're so welcome. I like this message a lot. And that song is so loud. Do you have Cat Stevens albums yet? Oh my gosh. Lord, my body has been a good friend. So self-love, more self-love. But I won't need it when we need it to reach the end, don't we? But that song also reflects on soul ties. So I like that song a lot. Listen to it intently. All right. Amy was next. Are you still here? I like it. Whoop! I like that message. I know there's buffering, so hold up. There she is. All right. So we are ready for Amy. Guys, the synchronicities in these videos are insane. Excuse me. It's not a water burp. I'm burping because I'm transitioning energies. So forgive. Let me write my light. Not right. Let me light my Palo Santo for you, Amy. The healing that I've had to do in these last few days has been off the charts. Off the charts. So it is what it is. Being that I had to use my vessel for a lot of things and my Kundalini life force energy to activate pyramids, and it took a lot on me physically. So if you want me to be perfect, you've come to the wrong place. But I can only be real. Okay, for whoever needed to hear that. Amy, I need to smudge you. 4 layers into your aura field is some shadow. Hang on. Excuse me. I'm going to activate the blue aura, angel aura, calcite, and the selenite into your auric field. I have to. So literally, I'm seeing both of those crystals go into your aura. If I looked at your aura through a lens of a camera, there would be some very dark, like a almost a black, but it's not black. Sweet Roger, you're next, sunshine. All right, Amy. So you need some positive mindset shift, is what I'm hearing. You definitely need a positive mindset. Is what you focus on. Beware of what you focus on. What you're focusing on is not aligned. What you focus on is not aligned. You're not in your heart center. And you're definitely not in balance either, they're saying. So you definitely need to work on that. Make sure you're aligned with God. Co-create now. Now. You have to co-create. There's no maybe, there's no tomorrow, there's no you have time, you don't have time. You have to co-create and get realigned. You, again, attach to your higher self. I don't know if I've said that to you before. I know I said it to Descent, but it's coming out for you right now. Attach to your higher self every day and ask for guidance immediately. And please don't hesitate. That's not a maybe. That's a if you want to get back in, that's what you got to do, okay? Got to, like yesterday. It's an urgent. Like I feel this urgency. Okay. I love this. Okay, so these are really good cards for you, Amy. I hope you're hearing me. I know there might be a delay, but I want you to hear this. Remember how I tell you you're a twin flame? And in order to really align inward, you have to heal every bit of you that's outside of God. That should have done that a long time ago. So he's behind where he needs to be. So there's also partly maybe part of that contract, okay? So I let my intimate relationships be my greatest learning devices for spiritual growth and healing. Everything go inward and heal it. Release it. Realign. When I doubt, I choose to see peace. Let's add love. Remember the first words I said to you was you need to change that, what you focus on. Change your narrative. I measure my success by how much fun I'm having. So your vibration is really low. Measure your success by how much fun you are having. How much fun are you having? Let's be real. Are you having any fun at all right now? Something is wrong because you should be. Didn't get into the new earth to play in the matrix. Nope. You're in charge. You are powerful. So I create my reality. I create by what I think, what I feel, what I say, and what I do every day. And when doubt creeps in, it's the shadow creeping on in. So I heard that song, Creeping On In. Creeping in, gonna be creeping on in. So I let my intimate relationships be my greatest learning devices for spiritual growth and healing. This should say twin flame alignment, because that's exactly what it is. This is why I won't charge people to align with their twin flame. I see that a lot. I see people trying to convince people how to align with their twin flame. And that's really a waste of time. What you need to focus on is going inward and releasing all that is not. Why am I afraid? I need to release it and I need to rise above. Why am I sad? I need to release that and I need to rise above. And I need to focus on fun, joy, and love. I need to focus on being in my power and the best version of myself, because that is where the higher twin flames align. When in doubt, I choose to see peace. Now, I'm also being called for you to pull this deck too. Okay, Amy? I hope you're with me. So you're very susceptible to the shadow creeping on in. You need to put up protections galore every day. I would say at least 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. Put up protections, ground, and make it right. Okay. The reason I'm saying is because it's urgent. Like you've got to do it now, not tomorrow, now. Okay. It has to start now. And my ear is really hurting. So there is a lot of shadow that you pick up and listen to. A lot. You deserve love. You are lovable. This is part of that shadow. And remember, I said you got to change. What was the first thing I said to you, Amy? You have to change the negative. What did I say? It was something like that. You have to change the negative dialect programming, the negative thought patterning. What you focus on is not serving you. Okay. There's the part in our course that we're going to be doing on how to live from a heart-centered spiritual business. There's something coming for you too in there that I really feel in my heart. So that's going to also help give you that perspective and realign you, but you deserve. So I hear you actually saying, I don't deserve to be in the new earth. Did you say that? Let's release it. Did you say that? When did you say that? Why did you said that? I don't deserve to be here. Let's get that shit out. Let's rise it out. I know that hurts. Like, ugh, I could feel it in your heart. I could feel it in my gut, and I could feel it in my solar plexus. It was supposed to be you. Why do you think it was supposed to be somebody else? This is a wound I'm trying to rise out. Let it go. Take a deep breath and let it go. I know you said that. I know you did. More than once. You think it was a mistake that you saved my life? You think it was a mistake that you were the first person in my academy? You think it was a mistake that you made it through every single portal activation that I did? Do you think it was a mistake that even though all those challenges that came against you, you still chose love? Right, but We're all still healing. See, that's the common misconception, is that we got into the new earth and we were done. No. You made it through and you cleared your karma. Okay. Okay. Any energy like that that gets in, shove it out immediately. It was not supposed to be somebody else. It was supposed to be you. Okay. I don't think mistake is the right word. It's about deserve. You didn't think you deserved it. Right? Yes, I do heart reviews, but you think I'm the only one? It's God too. There's no mistake. And you do deserve it. It's about deserving it. So anytime you think that, that is trying to take you out. Okay? Even when we get into the new earth, we're going to still heal. We're going to still learn. We need to stay aligned. Okay? The problem is at one point you stopped listening to the divine and you let the shadow govern you. Okay? So there is still healing to do. You're a twin flame, though. Consider that, Amy. Half of you got in and the other half was still behind. And now they're saying the divide is even greater. He's like shutting down a little bit, which causes you to do the same. So that's part of that. Okay. This is why the most important thing for you to do is go within and heal it. Release it. Heal it. Now I need to put up protections right now because I feel something in my gut. So let's just do that. I'm going to drop a light from the earth and go right to your solar plexus. It's like a whoop. I can even hear it like why do I hear ball and chain? I want you to get new perspectives. You have more now than you did because you went backwards a little bit. But that's the hard part about twin flames. Okay? You are connected. You are a higher twin flame, which means you're a direct descendant from Adam and Eve as far as twin flames. So remember, there's layers of twin flames, okay? It's not an easy journey because it's a reflection, right? So when something's coming against you, something's going against him. And as a feminine, we're kind of the glue that holds us together. Oh, I got the chill. Remember when we went through like certain portals, certain active, I can't remember if it was the Nile when I dried it up, but at one point they said, now be the light that guides them through. If you don't shine your light from the heart space, the shadow is governing you and it has blinded him. That's how twin flames work. Okay? So if we're out of balance from the heart space, our DM is out of balance and can't see. It requires self-growth, constant inward healing, self-reflections, and being in balance from the heart center. So I can't let the shackles govern me. You started letting the shackles govern you, yes, before you got into the new earth, but it wasn't solidified yet. I think it happened that time when you did that healing on me. And you weren't grounded, and you have a big heart, Amy, a very big heart. You meant no harm. Okay. The chills. I love you. It's time you love yourself as much as I love you. That's what God says. You are worthy. You are capable. You deserve to be here. You are a healer. The only thing that stops you is you. Nothing else. So I'm going to put up a bubble of mirrors around your solar plexus. Archangel Shamael is stepping in, Shamuel, and Raziel to help you align. You need to align. Your solar plexus is slightly out of balance. And I know this is messages, and I know I do healings with you, but I need to balance that. I feel like a cut. I feel it like poo. You know what I mean? Like it adjusts a poo. And then a little bit of golden light of the sun into your solar plexus. Reflections of love, reflections of the one. As I got into your energy, I feel attacked. I feel uncomfortable, and I feel a lot of pressure in my solar plexus. So you are vulnerable. You are extremely vulnerable, and you're letting in energies, and you're letting people take your power away. And I don't know why you didn't believe me the moment I told you as a twin flame, you got to go within and heal yourself and align with the highest version of you, to align internally with him. Because even if you're physically with him, if he doesn't align equally to you, he won't make it through. And that's probably why you got kicked back out. As twin flames, we have to rise together. If we don't make it. You align internally before you do externally. If it happens in the opposite way, you still have to align internally. You do that through internal reflections, learning devices for spiritual growth and healing. Everything that is happening, reflect inward, heal it, and align to your heart space, and immediately co-create. Now, you may not like what Spirit tells you to do. Can you still do it? With love shining through. Knowing is just about the lesson and the alignment you need. If I had to be honest, I feel like the day you did that healing on me and it didn't go the way you thought it should have went, because you were busy, you were in the car, and you didn't ground. You shut down. It was just to learn. Balance spirituality and practicality. Balance from the heart space. Yep. And that was the day you felt you didn't deserve it. I know that. It wasn't just that, but that's when you started becoming really clouded. That was when the shadow kind of took over for listening to, rather than God. Exactly. And that was a misconception. So what you could have done that day is say, oh, sure, I'm doing anything without being grounded. But if you think for 1 second, I let just anybody heal me, you are out of your mind. I do not. No. Amy, you saved my life. You healed things nobody else could have. You had the chills. There's a lot more gift in you that didn't rise. That started to become your demise. And then you stopped hearing me because you stopped hearing God, because you felt horrible. But you didn't do anything to hurt me. You just didn't. You were so ready and eager, you just forgot to ground. And when we're not grounded, we're susceptible to the shadow, especially you, because you're a high priestess. You literally stand on the divide of light and darkness to help people heal their shadow. And then when you got into the new earth, do you know how many people that were there for you to help align, and probably twin flames? Whoa, the chills. Oh, shit, that was overwhelming chills. Oh, my gosh. Part of your purpose is to help heal twin flames, Amy. Did you know that? I could cry when I say that. Did you know that? By helping people heal and align, by helping them remove the shadow, by helping them go inward, you're going to draw in twin flames. Yeah. Yeah. You're very special. You're special to me, and you are special to the ascension. You absolutely had a purpose here, and you absolutely deserve to be here, and you absolutely deserve love, and your twin flame needs to rise with you now. That's why God said, we got to get it. God didn't say anything, really. We do it ourselves, right? He just had to comply. But even I didn't know that was coming. So get into balance from that heart center, sunshine. Talk to spirit now. If you can't hear spirit, and we're going to our cards because we can't hear, it's because you're not aligned in the heart space, okay? The moment you felt horrible for that was when you started shutting down that connection. So I want you to go back to that day, feel that day in your energy, say, I forgive myself, and reconnect to your higher self now. Okay? That's exactly what you got to do. And then use everything that comes up. If anything happens with him, I want you to not talk. You don't have to talk to him. You can talk to him. But if anything in his reality is happening, thank you. I love that. Thank you, because I never had to forgive you. Ever. I love you. I always trusted you. And I still do to this day. I trusted you with my life, Amy. And my twin flames life. Okay. Like, that's a big deal. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah. The moment anything happens with him, I want you to go within you and heal it. Mirrored. Okay. Anything you see happening with your twin flame, or anything you feel on the internal as far as a shadow and a light battle, immediately stop, drop, and listen, and heal it. And then ask spirit, which way do I need to go? I want you channel writing, because you can. You forgave yourself for that day. I never had to forgive you because I love you dearly. There's some releasing for that, though, isn't there? So now see a white light go from your heart all the way up to your higher self. I want you to see a pillar of light rise from your heart all the way to your higher self right now. Close your eyes and go, boom. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're releasing that. And then I feel it to my solar plexus, too. So this absolutely is tied to me. And I want you channel writing immediately. And if you hesitate, just say that's nonsense. Drop into your heart and do it again. Get realigned now, because you need to pull him through, because he's pulling you back out, because he's not with you. Twin flames need to heal internally. And then once you start healing and getting into healing others, because every one of you that made it through with me had souls that you needed to bring through. Guaranteed. Every single one of you. And you do that by showing up and being the healer that you are. You didn't go through my academy for no reason. You didn't heal me for no reason. And these are lessons and learning. That's it. Instead of because you're such a big heart and you care so much, look at it as, okay, I'm learning. This is spirit teaching me. Now I know that I must put protections and I must ground. If I can't do that, I can't do a healing yet. I believe in you. I wouldn't endorse you if I didn't. There's no way. Because I am pure light and I will only push pure light. Make sense? You've got backed up souls that need to be helped through. And your job, and I told you this before, but now it makes full sense, is to help twin flames through. And more. It's not just that, they're saying. It's also more mediumship. You've got that in there too, that you haven't really tapped into enough. Because how do I teach you as a healer? Do I teach you to be one modality? Because I'm the master healer, right? And this is why I said we have to bring everything back to the wholeness of the one. So as a healer, I teach you to tap into everything. I teach you to be able to bring through everything. So you've got amazing things. Yes, you've got amazing things to tap into, not just one. So when I say twin flames, that's not the only thing. Okay. And P.S., there is this video out there of twin flames and they're both females. Can anybody tell me why you can't be a same-sex twin flame? I have nothing against same-sex relationships. No, God doesn't either. They're all lovable. But why can't they be twin flames? Anybody know? Does anybody know that answer? It's not because they're judged. God loves everybody. They're not shunned. Only people who judge would shun them. Because it has to be a masculine and a feminine. Twin flames are the same soul divided into two, one feminine and one masculine. They cannot be same with the two. So there's actually one couple on YouTube that, even this is crazy too, because one of her videos was she found a false twin flame relationship supposedly before this one. And I look at them and they have great intention. Great. And so I'm not going to oust them. But I'm like, you can't. There's something wrong here. Okay. We can't be whole in a broken world. So to judge anybody is ridiculous, right? God does not judge. That is wrong. Only religion would tell you to judge something like that. Only people who think they're righteous when they're not would tell you to judge anything like that. Okay. There's lots of reasons why people become into the same sex, and that's okay. I understand it. It's either genetic or they've been wounded very badly. Okay. And I get a lot of chills when I say a lot of chills. Can there be genetic mishaps? Hell to the yeah. Our food is genetically modified. Okay. Our water has been contaminated. There's so many issues here. Not only the V's and all this. Yes, it always messes with our gene pool or genome. So things can happen in the wound. We can't be whole in a broken world. We're quite wounded, especially with children, right? How much abuse, and especially in like my age group and even a little younger, there was a lot of abuse on kids. So to judge is ridiculous. But in order to be a twin flame, it is a masculine and feminine. So be careful what you listen to. It is the same soul divided in two. That is not the case. No. That doesn't make sense. God is masculine and feminine, not a feminine and feminine with a masculine trait. How would that work? I'm missing my masculine component. We are the same soul divided in two. Where that, if you watch, you need to watch When My DM Died. This will show you the soul of a twin flame. Okay? When my DM died and I got a walk-in, you really need to watch that. I'm going to post the link. I know Roger is next, and Roger's like, hey, I've been waiting this whole time. I got you, sunshine. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to show you the day my DM died. I'm going to show you that video. This is not something you should avoid. Was it painful? Fuck yeah. Is it something I would wish on my worst enemy? No, but I am the luckiest woman in the world. And if I had to go back, I would only go back to that day. And I would change it from there. Good. It was unbelievable. Amy was the only one I let in that energy with me that day, by the way. And I got chills. Amy is I need to say that again. Amy H was the only one that I let into that healing with me that day. Everybody else was blocked. 3333. Oh yeah. And I had judgments thrown at me too after that day. Okay. The chills. So I'm going to get that video and I'm going to post the link. Okay. Because if you need to watch it, and you need to watch it intently the whole way through, because what happens with twin flames, I could tell you exactly how they're created. I saw it undone. Okay. I felt my DM's heart stop that day. He knew it was coming. I heard in songs. He was preparing. He was actually saying goodbye to his family. And I still had hope he would show up until that very end. I did, because nobody would want that, right? Even though I'm very lucky, I love my new DM. I do say more than that. Okay. I don't want to lose him. I would not go back to my old DM. I need to say that very loudly. I just won't. Okay. Aw. Amy, I'm telling you, you're more special than you know. Because seriously, there's so much we've never discussed. And as far as the twin flame goes, this is your biggest lesson, okay? So because you're supposed to help others through. And partly by telling the story that happened. Okay? Because I'm about to cry. So that day, it was on August 30th of 22. Okay, this was right before the resurrection of Christ on Christmas Day. I know, right? I know, right? So rise, sunshine. Show up to my lives and help people. You've got excuses wreaking havoc. Let's move past those. We can do it, okay? I will help you. That's what I'm here for. I would never send you out and say do it alone, but you have to take advantage of the opportunities, okay? Because if you don't feel comfortable, I'll help you till you're comfortable, okay? So hear me. The day my DM died, I'm going to explain to you, twin souls. This is so important. I hope people can hear me. I really hope people can hear me. Because there's no judgment, all right? I get it. Females can love females, masculines can love males, can love males, whatever. Each is on you. You can't be whole in a broken world, okay? Roger, you're so funny. Anyways, the day my DM died, I'm going to explain to you how twin flames are made because I saw it undone. I felt it undone. It was my twin soul. It was my soul. Okay. Watch that video, like no joke, and watch it over again. So we started out that day where I was scared. I knew what was coming. He had a week to come and he didn't come. And I heard him prepping. I heard him singing songs of saying goodbye, like reminiscing, like in his reality, he was really preparing to die because in his mind, he wasn't good enough anyways. Okay. He had a big black hole in his heart and he did partake in trying to kill me and trying to stop the ascension, even though he was blinded, right? In his true heart, he didn't mean to. This has been happening for centuries with the divine and masculine. Okay. So when he died, this is how it happened. And you can watch the video. I only let Amy in because I was very protected that day. I started to feel his heart. God was with us. Okay. God was there. I don't remember if there was any angels there. I remember God was there and I was scared and I surrendered. Okay. I knew it was coming. I didn't want to suffer anymore. And I knew I'd been battling very hard and went through a lot of pain. So I was kind of ready to end the suffering. So I showed up. It started by going into the meditation. We set the setting. I can't remember everything, but I remember the pain, okay? And I remember the soul division and the repair. God already had a plan. He let us know that. So who the new DM was, I still don't know, but I feel him. I know him on the inside. I knew my other one. Physically, we had a relationship. So I started to feel his heart, okay? I can feel his heart. And it started to beat funny. And I knew God was doing it. And then it started hurting, like pain I've never felt before. He literally had a heart attack. Okay. I don't want anybody to ever feel that. Okay. His heart started stopping and it was very painful. I felt his whole entire heart attack until his heart stopped. I couldn't escape it. I was scared. It wasn't comfortable. I mean, I've seen my dad die, you know what? So I know what that looks like. But now on the inside, I was feeling it. I was literally feeling my DM die that day. And I gave you the video link. You can watch it. It was very real. And then as soon as his heart stopped, I freaked out and I started crying very hard. And I remember God saying, "We don't have time. Focus." Something like that. I was like, focus. And I had to bring my consciousness back to what was happening because I started freaking out because his heart stopped. He died. And I could see, I feel like he was in a vehicle or something. Like, I don't think he was in his house. I feel like I could see him and he was like in his vehicle or something. He was separate from people. He knew it was coming and his heart stopped and God immediately said, "Hey, focus." Like like, I know this hurts, but focus. And I was like, whoop, and I came back to, and immediately he ripped the soul out of his body. Okay. He went like, whoop, and then he ripped it in half. And the part that was me, my twin soul part, went into a new DM. Whoop, and I heard a new song. It was a Michael Jackson song about darkness, right? Or something about that. I can't remember. Watch the video because I was focused on the pain. And the part that was David, the part was the masculine, the guy, went into something else. He didn't go to heaven. He didn't go where some would call hell. God doesn't call it that. He went backwards. And my friend Ninka would laugh and say, maybe he's a bird. He had to go backwards as a soul. So who he was is gone. He's dead. Then I couldn't even focus on that. I had to come to what God was doing, and I saw him with my new DM. And all of a sudden, he drew this line of chakras up, boom, and it was like hundreds and hundreds of chakras activating within him. And my new DM was born. So who he was originally, he just became more. And he was aware. Then that was in August of 22, from there to December, he was becoming acclimated and he was supposed to show up. And God said, do a live on Christmas Day. And I didn't know what was coming. And my DM was supposed to be here for that, but he hesitated. And that threw me into a spiral. But that day is when we united Jesus and Mary Magdalene's soul back, and I undid the Holy Grail. And my DM and I had to come together before I could do that. That should tell you who we are right there. So twin flames are that. It is one feminine and one masculine. And the part that's the same, the twin soul part, is one. But my Brianna self, my feminine self, is different than his masculine part. This is why you can't have two females and two masculines, because God is masculine and feminine. This is why some people will see God as a feminine and some will see him as a masculine. And this is also why you're not just waiting for one man named Jesus. Jesus was a twin soul, Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and Sekhmet and Horus. Those were all the ones they messed with, but they were all the same soul. Twin soul, coming back to rectify. It is weirdly amazing, but it was rough. I'm not going to lie. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. But it took a lot for me to accept that day and to accept him not being here anymore. Adam and Eve, Adam chose a false goddess. In this lifetime, it played out the same way. Defiant, rough. Yes, he was very defiant. It was very difficult. He liked drugs. That was what he told me, is like, if I'm with you, I'm going to have to change. And I was like, I don't want to get in your way. And that was the day I walked away, because I have kids and I didn't want that for my family, but I'm not going to tell somebody, hey, you have to change to be with you. And that's where we became. And then I dated somebody else, and he dated like 5 others until he got to the fallen. And then they took off, and they tried to stop the whole ascension. They tried to rip my soul out. It was horrible. It was very painful. And Amy had to help save my life. Okay. And the day he died, that's how it happened. God stopped his heart. I know. I saw it. I felt it. I processed it. It was horrible. I freaked out. And God said, focus. And I'm like, okay. Because we didn't have time. He had a limited time to get his soul out, rip it apart, put my twin soul back into another masculine body, not a feminine, right? Masculine. I don't know his name, but I know he's beautiful. And I have fallen in love with him on the inside. And he has earned his right to be here. But then I saw God activate our chakra systems. We're not normal. We have way more than any I've ever healed in people. I saw it. It was like poof, 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 all the way up his whole entire spinal column and out. It was like boom, 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 all hundreds and hundreds of chakras. And I was like, oh. And then from there, if you watch my channel, he slowly rose behind me and took on the soul fragments of Jesus, because my original DM could not align to that. So his soul, since I freed it, was waiting in a flower in the Garden of Eden. Because when I processed his death, it didn't go up. It went into a flower, and I didn't understand that. And then eventually my DM aligned, my new one, rose right behind me and aligned with that. And he got to take on that soul. And then when Horus rose from the Sphinx, that soul was massive and it rose from the Sphinx and it found my DM. Yes, exactly, Amy, like the tree of life, several branches and several chakras. Exactly. Exactly. So that's why you can't have two feminines or two masculines. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. It's not about judgment. It's not about better than. It's about it has to be one feminine and one masculine. That is God. That is the Ankh. That is what they broke when they ripped apart our souls and created the whole unholy grail. I don't like to call it a holy grail. It's not that at all. By killing him and making Mary Magdalene take his blood and partake, and it was horrible. And then she died shortly after. Okay. Same happened to Adam and Eve and Jesus. It was constant division of the masculine and feminine, which is what broke the cross. And then they mocked you by hanging him on the cross. God would never say, hey, honor the bloody corpse of my lost son because he died for you. That doesn't quite compute to God. God is not suffering. God is not division. God is not blood. God is not sacrifice. God is free will and unconditional love. That's why the new earth is the golden era. Freedom, no worries, abundance, love, joy. Absolutely, Lisa. I said, yeah, donation-based healings. I can do one on Goose. Yeah. So I'll get into Roger's message, but I had to tell you guys that, okay? And you can watch it. It had the death or the transition, the new birth of my DM, I should say, because I got a new one and he's beautiful. Happened on August 30th of 22. The resurrection occurred on December 25th of 22. Then the dome was complete. And then from that timeline, we went into Sekhmet and Horus. Then I dried the Nile. Then Horus returned from the Sphinx. The moon and the sun were reunited through wholeness and complete undoing of all darkness there. I was reborn in Lake Titicaca. Like all of that is there. And now the Incas and the Mayans have also risen from Lake Titicaca. That's the return of Christ, my friends. And they married my DM and I. God did. That was a beautiful day, too. Okay? All right. Roger, are you ready for your message? You guys watch those videos. You got to watch them, but don't judge them, okay? That's why twin flames can't be a feminine and a feminine. You can't have two female twin flames. So what I think happened to that couple is she met her twin flame and then got duped. Absolutely. All right. So I will do a message for Roger and then we will do a healing for Goosey. Okay. All right. He's ready. Okay, Roger. I'm going to go no holds bar, but I need you to do me a favor. I need you to hear me intently. So open your heart. Roger, I don't do this for anybody. You have followed me the whole way and you've put up with a lot of shadow pieces and you've made your way back. Are you ready for this? Can I open your heart? God says I need to open your heart. Let me go back through the comments too. He's saying you put something in the comments. Yes. Thank you, Amy. I love it. Let me read your comments, Roger, as you give me permission or not. I don't have to have permission. It's okay if you don't want me to. Let me read this. Okay, the brother. Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh my gosh. Yay, Roger. Didn't I tell you something before about your brother? Okay, perfect. Now, Roger, a long time ago, I told you something about your brother. I told you I think your mother came through and said something about his health. Okay. So you pushed away and it caused him to respond. And yes, there is healing required. Okay. I need to get a sip. Let me put up a little bit of protections. You guys, my new DM is amazing. He's put up with a lot. He stayed right by my side. So pure heart all the way. Oh, I love him. I don't want to go back to my old DM, but I would go back to that day he was reborn and I would do things better. Okay. Roger, there's a block going on with you. Yep, I told you about your brother. And so now here we are in that moment, aren't we? Because it just aligned just right. There's something going on here, you guys. So I'm going to call in some protections again. I call in the highest light in and the highest light out only. I call in the creator and all angels involved, and I ask them to put up a bubble of light. I don't want anybody to leave, but I want the shadow to leave. I want the shadow to be made outside of this bubble, and it cannot penetrate the light. I'm going to put up a massive bubble of light around us all. I spark the shadow, and that's okay, but we want it to leave, to not return. As soon as I did that, the number went down. Interesting. All right. Shadow gone. Okay, Roger, here we go. I'm going to draw a light down from the heavens above, and it does have a green hue, and I do see the figure 8 going from your heart space, so it's time to heal a lot of relationships. There is grief between your brother and you. Okay, that was Amy that left, so it wasn't good. I'm hoping nobody left because I did that. I don't like that. Just stay. We'll just remove the shadow, okay? Good. All right. Roger. There is a bit of an ego, though, going on with you that you need to annihilate. Okay, that is the key to awakening. Okay, going within. You need to go within. Yes. Yes. So I see the glass needs to shatter. The glass needs to shatter. That always represents the ego for me. Every time we do deep ego healing, it's the glass shattering. So it's like an illusionary field, right? It's like this glass of illusion, this barrier of it's like keeps you from the reality. Okay. As I'm trying to go into your crown, I feel like I'm going to throw up. And I do see a wolf. That is your spirit guide. No. I have to do this or you won't hear the message anyway. There's also deep grief. Deep grief, you still have barely cried. Like there's some deep grief. And fear and loneliness and a little bit of confusion and some anger. Okay, so I'm finally able to get through the crown and I'm bringing the light in. I need to go to the heart. Okay, so I'm going to, it's like really hard though. Your chakras are very closed and very tight, very tight. You're trying to protect that way by clenching your energy, and that's not going to protect you. It's actually letting in the darkness. Okay, so where there is fear, there is not light. It's almost like I'm afraid of the dark. I don't want to say you really are, but I feel like this is in your energy. You're a tough guy, so I don't want anybody to take that wrong. Like you're a sweetheart, though. You're very sensitive. You're more sensitive than you know you are. And this may freak you out because I don't think I've ever been in your energy in this way, but that's okay. I feel it in the solar plexus. So I need to put up a barrier, a buffer from the darkness to the light. And I'm going to put up a bubble of light around me. And I see a wolf to your left and a wolf to your right, and they're like howling. They're howling at the moon. It's like, roar! It's going crazy. I'm invoking some shit, Roger. I'm invoking some stuff here. Oh my gosh. Please take a salt bath. Like soak your feet. Do something. You ready? So I'm taking on the light further down the third eye. It's like barely, and I feel my headache, my head hurts. There's pressure because of this. So I'm bringing the light in. I'm going to cause it to continue to expand. Be very careful. Aw, No, don't say that. You just can't align with karmic. We can't be in karmic relationships. And until you're healed enough, you won't align with your soulmate. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So in the matrix, karmics are falling. So it's really hard for people to align with relationships unless they're healed enough. Okay. So just, there's somebody for you in Georgia. Where the fuck are you? Get out and go to Georgia. Oh God. And she's beautiful. She has very long, dark hair. I think I've said this to you before. Georgia, get on a dating site. Go to Georgia. But wait, let's heal you first because you've got some shadow shit. Okay. So I'm going to bring the light down through. My solar plexus hurts. It doesn't feel right. Where the bad folks go when they die, they don't go to heaven where the angels fly. They go to a lake of fire and fry. See them again till the 4th of July. Why in the hell is that on 4th of July? Are we in the 4th of July? What is going on here? I feel like there's souls heightened. Like there's a lot of entity and spirits on this planet at this time. There's a lot. If you're sensitive, beware. Protections. Where the bad folks go when they die. Kurt Cobain. Why is he here? What is going on? Oh, there's lyrics in you, Roger. Have you ever written a freaking song? Dude, oh my God. Something's going on here. Kurt Cobain is always here. Why is he here right now? What is going on? Hang on, let me calm down. Poison of the soul? Something about poison of the soul? Oh, there's a transitional happening right now. Okay. So there's lots of like souls going on. I see like this thing going on in the earth. So there's like, here's the thing is there's a lot of shadow entities floating around, coming around. They're heightened. And so is spirit. So we have ancestors present on the earth right now. We have darkness present on the earth right now. And it's like blah, 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 blah. Chaos. Okay. So we got to calm the mind and we need to tune in to the earth. So from your wrists and your ankles, it's like shackles down. This weight anchoring you in, and I need to take like these ball and chains and from the ankles and the wrist all the way down into the ground. I cannot connect you to the core because you have a very dark shadow in you. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? It won't accept your connection to the core, but I'm taking it down into the layers of the earth. I feel very sick in your energy, Roger. This is me just trying to get to the heart space, my dude. And yes, there's a female in Georgia. Or at least from Georgia. You're looking in the wrong places. But also, you need healing. Finally, I'm getting somewhat through the throat. And what's up with this song? Where the bad folks go when they die. They don't go to heaven where the angels fly. They go to a lake. What's up with the lake? Of fire and fry. See them again till the 4th of July. People come, people go. Some grow young, some grow cold. Oh, this is stirring up some emotions in you. It's like making me uncomfortable. So I'm finally getting it through the throat a little bit. There's this ball between your throat and your heart. This is it right here. I got it. Oh, shit. It looks like this, a metal sphere. Like kryptonite. I hear it's like kryptonite. It would be like Superman's kryptonite. And it's all slimy and yucky. Yeah, it's if I'm like throwing it out of the energy. And now the light is going into the heart space. Ooh, and it's not used to it. It's like, what the healing. So I'm just going to slowly open it up and slowly open it up and slowly open it up. Now the light is going to be like this vortex. It's kind of circling on both sides, and it's going to start to clear out a lot of cloudy haze. And it's tapping into some deep grief. Oh, yeah. So for a few days, you might be very emotional. Please don't bottle it. Do not bottle it. Go and punch a pillow and scream at me. I don't care what you got to do to release it. Release it. You cannot ground to the earth until all shadow to a certain level is removed, not to the core, but you are in the earth. I need you grounding with the trees, Roger, and with water and trees, water and trees, water and trees, and some flowers. Please meditate with some flowers. Okay. Oh, sunshine, don't be sorry if it makes me sick. Don't make me sick. I just release it for you. This is my job. It's what I do. Oh, my pleasure. This is what I do. Okay. There is a female. There is. She's from Georgia. Whether she still lives in Georgia, I don't know. But she's not on the West Coast. She's more towards the East Coast. You are looking in the wrong places. You need to get the hell out of Dodge. Look on a dating app. Have you ever been on a dating app? She's got beautiful hair. She almost looks like an Egyptian goddess, right? Like she's got very defined eyebrows, very dark hair and dark eyes and very defined features. Okay. But before you do that, clear your energy. You've got some healing to do. Your brother still does have a heart condition. Okay. And so yes, healing on multiple layers. Whoa. All right. Yep. Sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is about power, love, creativity, and blossom through the light. Okay. But then we also have success and growth. So you need to plant the seeds in a right foundation. If she's chubby, I'm putting a what on that? A ring on that. She is, I wouldn't say chubby. Do not ever call her that. I will flick you in your forehead. She is big boned. Sorry, it's buffering. Oh no. She is big boned, but you need to heal your chakra. We have blossom and we have success and growth. And moving on. So this is talking about releasing emotions. Water ties into emotions. Okay. And your sacral. Okay. Sacral also ties into the mother wound, Roger. So there's some grief here. All right. So you need to anchor into the right things to have success and growth and plant the seeds and stay grounded and centered. Stay grounded and centered through the new earth, through God, and you will see success blossom. But success of the right kind. And then we have blossom. Blossom through your power center. Okay. You see the greenery through earth, through creation. The wolves, there's something about the earth and wolves here. I'm not done yet. Dream thief refusal of the call. Okay. So if you let wounds or fears or ego or anything stop you from that call, your past, do not let your past hold you back. Do not let your past. So things that would hold you back before, you can't let them hold you back anymore. This is urgent. You're refusing the call of God at times because you let things hold you back. You have power. This talks about your power. Your power, your passion is where you will blossom. Your creations, your power, your passion is where you will blossom. Do not let the past hold you back because you've refused the call before. And this is why you're anchored into a shadow. It is wreaking havoc on you. And it's time for new beginnings. Okay. It is time for new beginnings. Do not let your past hold you back. You need to blossom through your power. Let me say that again. You must blossom through alignment, through your power. It is time for new beginnings. So when your past comes up, you need to heal the emotions that are tied to it so that you can move on. And it's big time tied to your sacral chakra at this time. Your power. Okay? And don't ever call her chubby. She could be big boned, but she's bigger. I feel like she's taller than me. And I feel like she's just broader. She's gorgeous. She's like a Egyptian goddess. That's how I see her. Okay. But you're looking in the wrong places. She is like in Georgia or has once been in Georgia. All right. Are you hearing the mess? I hope you're hearing it, Raj. That's why I had to open your heart, because you wouldn't hear it otherwise, because the shadow is trying to wreak havoc on you. And it comes up in ways of where it gets your fears, right? It's like everything that's held you back before: judgments, fear, and not understanding, and waiting for others to validate that. Like, you don't want to be judged by others. You need to let that go. You have to blossom from your power. Do things in new ways. Look at the world in a different way, and you must grieve. Okay? Very important. Urgently important. There's a lot of urgency in these messages today. All right, my friend. We are time for Goosey's healing now. And keep going with your brother. The more you heal you can actually tell him, hey, dude, like, send him my way. I don't care what you do. He needs to get his heart checked. Okay? Actual heart. Something about a blockage. I'm not in his energy, though. All right? Okay. Let me remove my energy from yours, because that was big. It was your shadow, Roger, hitting my solar plexus there. So be careful. Do not ever refuse the call from God, even if it's hard. You're not alone. We've all dealt with it. Okay? Get aligned to the heart space now. And then some dating app. I mean, get the hell out of Dodge. You're not meant to remain in California. That was awesome, wasn't it? All right. We will do Goosey, and then we were probably going to go because I got my course at 3:33. Oh, boy. All right. Time for our buddy Goosey's healing. Goosey is an animal. You guys, we do animal healings just as I do people. So you can actually watch how that goes too, if you'd like. Excuse me. This is one of the best lives we've had in a long time. I really love it. So thank you, Roger. Roger, if that gets overwhelming, no, you're not alone. Please go soak your feet in some salt water or take a bath. You need to remove that shadow stuff out of your outer energy vortex now, and be aware of it playing out in your reality, because it's going to tempt you. It's going to hit you where your fear is. It's going to hit you where your insecurities lie. Do not let your past hold you back. It's time to do things in a new way, because you refused the call before. Don't refuse it again. Okay? Warning, my friend. Dallas, Texas. Oh, I don't want to hear that. No. It's okay, because maybe it's just not time, but don't say that. I want you to be very careful with your words, okay? But right now, focus on healing, staying grounded, being centered, and finding your power. Heal your sacral, and you can get a dating app. Start there. But then I want you manifesting a move. Manifest it, create it, visualize it, be it, own it, and feel it. And then just go. And spirit, you got to follow the call, though, because when we manifest something, they're going to try to get you to follow that nudge, okay? It will be quicker than you know. So don't say that. You're just not aligned. It's not that it's not time. You're not aligned. You should have been out of there a long time ago, because you didn't hear the call. Is this making sense now? This is why I had to open your heart too. So you're not hearing the call. Align to it, create it, but follow those nudges. They're going to be small, gentle nudges, and the shadow is going to be loud, and it's going to be in your face, and it's going to make you feel like you're less than, or feel, you know what I mean? Don't follow those. It's time to do things differently, new beginnings, and trust in your power. You can do it. I want you to write down exactly what you want, the move that you want, and then just follow the nudges because it's already behind. And you can get a dating app, but I need you to understand something. Until you're in your power, you'll call in karmic relationships, and you don't want that. But she is not where you're at. And maybe it's not Texas you're supposed to move to. Maybe it's Georgia. I don't know. I think I've said that before. Don't hold on to what causes you pain. Let it go. Let it go. All right. Yeah, well, do it. That's what I'm saying. Do it now. Get on it. But I don't want to hear doubt come out of you. Anywhere there's lack, you're going to block anything good anyways. That's what it means. Do not match the vibration of the item. Match the vibration of love, not lack. Okay? All right. So we are going into Goosey now. I still keep hearing that song. What is up with that song and 4th of July and Kurt Cobain? Where the bad folks go when they die, they don't go to heaven where the angels fly. They go to a lake of fire and fry. See them again till the 4th of July. Now we are in the 4th of July, aren't we? Curioso. And there's breaking news. I don't know what it is. All right, Goosey, are you ready? Exactly. Anywhere doubt comes in, don't listen. All right, Lisa says, yeah. I got to remove your energy, Roger. You don't want me to, but I got to. Detach. Your own power. Your own power. That's a struggle, but you've got it. All right. So as I'm going into Goosey, I need to put a tornado of energy around him. I need to swirl the energy. It's like a tornado cone shape, and I need to swirl it up. He's not connecting to the earth right now. He gets very detached. He's very emotional. Do you know that he sees spirits? So he sees entities, he sees energies, and you are near something in your area. I think I've said this to you before, Lisa. There's something like a burial ground or something near there. Like lots of bodies, lots of stones, lots of lazy, like a graveyard. There's something near there. But your dog is very sensitive to that, and he gets messed with. Hematoma? I need to go directly to his blood. Hematoma. So I'm going to bring in pure light into his blood, right through the back, the spinal column. I need to go through the bone marrow and the spinal column. There's something direct line to the blood. I need to go. So I'm going in by his neck, and I'm going to take the light through his spinal column, through the bone marrow, into the blood flow. I need to detox his blood. He had vaccines. That's there. I need to detox his blood. Hematoma. So I see all the components. I see the red blood cells. I see leukocytes. I see T cells. My levels are off. My white cells are constantly like something's going on here. It's like, it's like almost like where your body starts to fight itself. Autoimmune disease, they would call that. It's like on attack mode. Something's wrong. I need to clear it. So what I actually need to do is kind of flush this. And this is weird. I'm going to do what I see to do. I claim nothing else. So I need to take the blood and I need to drop it down his back feet and into the earth. So I'm literally like taking his blood and draining it down the veins in his feet, out his toes and into the earth. It's almost like a flush, and I'm bringing light in and I'm flushing, but I'm causing the bones in the spinal column to produce new blood. So this would be like a transfusion. I need to cleanse his blood. I need to cleanse his blood. I need to cleanse his blood. He's been dizzy. He's been lethargic, like weird. I can't see the world right around me. So like this swirl of energy going around him, and I keep hearing hematoma. What is a hematoma? Oma. Is it like a tumor, like a something in the blood? Hematoma. Give me a second, because I'm just draining. There's nothing to be afraid of, but I need to flush. I need to flush that blood. It became toxic. It became. He is so sensitive, just so sensitive. And his breed, he's like susceptible to a few things. Oh. I feel like he recognized I'm there. Like, hi. Hello. My ear. Do you put Q-tips in there? Like, it feels really weird. I feel like there's somebody cleansing my ear and it's cold and it's wet. The sound. Have you ever heard somebody put a Q-tip in your ear and like it's like so loud? Holy hell. Whoa, that is so weird. I'm like shaking my head like, that was loud and it hurts and it's like echoing and it's almost like nails on a chalkboard. Do you put little bandanas around them? Why do I see a bandana around his neck? So cute. I need to do this 3 times. So I'm taking the blood. I don't know what it is with the paws, but I'm going out the right hind leg. So I'm like flushing it out into the earth. I need to flush it out into the earth. I know this sounds weird. It's energetic. He's not going to bleed out, but I'm just doing this. I need to like cleanse it and detox it. And at the same time, I'm bringing light down his spinal column into the bone marrow. It has to be in the vertebrae. Has to. Couldn't be any other bone in the body. I don't know what the relevance of that is, but it's triggering production of brand new blood. So his body is like exiting out toxic blood, and I need to bring in, it's like a blood transfusion. That's what Spirit says. And I'm like going through different emotions. I'm going through like weird energy switches. He's a picker-upper, so he like picks it up, right? Old so type things. He picks up energies, but also he's almost attacked. So there's like this dead people near your area. What the, like souls. Did something tragic happen near there? Look in the history of the area. It could be miles out, but look around there. What happened? What happened? What happened? Or there's like a burial ground of some sort. But I want to say souls are trapped a little bit. Like it's not exactly the best energy. So I don't know if you notice that. He will notice when something's around, but there'll be nothing there. To our eye, but to his eye there is. He's very sensitive, and I feel like he gets picked on. So what you could do is put up protections around him when you go out for walks. Something about where you go for walks, just put up protections around him. And I'm feeling a lot in my stomach, so I need to push out any energies, any judgments, any whatever. Don't bring judgments. Don't bring judgments. Just be open. Not everything is understood. All right, back to Goosey. He doesn't like his ears messed with. That hurts my ears. Like it hurts my sensitivity. Oh, and whatever like is like cold. It doesn't feel good. Very sensitive. And I feel like it like reverberates. Anything done within his ear will reverberate like an echo. Like it just reverberates. It's like, no. I got to do the blood again. I think I did it twice now. Here comes the third round. So I'm going to push all the blood down, and I'm bringing light through the spinal column, through every single vertebrae, through the bone marrow, and it's going to trigger blood production. You don't have to believe me. Look it up through medical books, whoever that is. You don't have to judge. I only do what I do. I don't make this. I couldn't make this up if I tried. So just be open. So I'm just flushing the blood through the foot and into the earth. I got to flush it, and 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 I got to flush this one. It's like running water through it. I feel like I need to just run all this water. And then I'm running light through the spinal column, do, 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 do. And it's hitting the bone marrow every which way. And it's telling the body, I'm just born. I need to produce blood. I need to remake my blood. I need to create blood. I need fresh blood. I need blood. And I feel like he's getting energy back. And then I'm going into his brain. I actually see his brain tissues. Something about hematoma again, and like just like a blockage in there. So I'm just bringing healing through the veins into the brain. I need blood flow, and I need to heal that. Something about it might be vaccine caused. I don't know. It was toxic. So animals have already ascended, for people that don't know that. And so the medical field is not aligned with what we're supposed to naturally be. So I need you to understand that it doesn't compute. I don't know what I'm seeing, and I don't want to reiterate it until I see it clearly, because I don't want to create fear. Okay. His soul like lifted out of his body. It just went whoop. But he didn't die. That's not what I'm seeing. It's like a rebirth. I feel like a rebirth. And I got chills in my leg when I said that. And then I'm going to my hips and my shoulders, my hips and my shoulders, my hips and my shoulders. Mm-hmm. I need to realign in the back spinal column. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. And then something about like the muscles in the right shoulder, like triceps, biceps, like my muscles. He's muscular. I can't tell. There's a tear there. Breakdown of muscular tissue. I feel like you also worry a lot about their health. So this is not helping. You're creating scenarios, is what I'm hearing too. So you got to calm down a little bit on them. I know you love them so much and you don't want anything to happen to them, but that is creating a worry scenario. And it's also bringing in energy we don't want. So I just want you to see them healthy and joyful and happy. Okay. And let all the worry fade away. It's almost like if I lost them, I would be distraught. So there's like this crazy like energy of I need to protect them with everything that I've got. But that's creating a scenario where number one, they feel that it's causing stress within the energy, but whatever we focus on, we bring about. I heard truth be told. Okay, so I'm going into like what would be like our spleen area in him. Like by his thoracic muscles, so the thoracic chest, the rib cage area, but in the muscles. So it's related to the tear, like a muscle tear. I don't know. I feel like maybe it just jumped wrong, just pushed too hard. He's very muscular, very, very strong. He's reborn. That's what I was like, why am I saying a soul eval? I'm not telling her that. And they're like, no, it's okay. It's then my skin is very sensitive. So it's allergies. Almost like dust mites, like little mites. So there's something about that, but very sensitive. I wouldn't call it mange. I just get very sensitive, get very itchy, very itchy, very itchy. And I'm going into the genome pool, into the genetic makeup, the helixes. And I'm doing a repair in the DNA, but then also to the liver. All right. I don't know what's happening because my eyes are closed. I hope you're still with me. But I'm in Goosey's energy still, so I can't remove myself yet. But I'm like, I feel like I'm like in his fur, almost like a light gray. I feel like a muscle. I feel like I'm in the chest. I'm repairing that, but it even goes up into my neck. Very sensitive, but I'm so strong. I don't know on my own strength, kind of a thing. And then I'm in the hips. Is a protector, very much so, but he does it in a different way. He's what you would call an empath, all right, for people. Like he's very sensitive. He deals with energy, and he's also psychic. So a lot of animals are because they're in that realm. They tune into the emotions. They're emotional driven. Okay, so that's a key to people. We are totally detached from our emotions. Oh, nice. Where animals are completely attached. That's how they regulate the world around them. So it's like almost like this weird energy wave where this animal can do that. I can repel, but I can also call in. I know when something's not right. And I do it with a heightened tail. So regardless of what the state of my tail, it's like heightened area back there. I will point. I will let you know. I let you know. I let you know. I tell you. It's just we may not always know what they're telling us. If you opened up your telepathic communication, he would be the first one you can communicate with. So as you rise and heal and really tune in and meditate more and more and connect more and more, and your telepathic communication becomes heightened, this dog would be very on it. This is how he creates in the world around him. So I'm doing one more round of light through the spinal column and into the hips, into the hip realignment, like maybe dysplasia prone or something, just a realignment here. And a tear in the muscles. So I'm healing that. It's going to continue healing. I almost feel like that muscle part became a light body, right? Like I had to almost replace it. And then I'm back to the toes. So I get like a little mangy almost in my skin too, on my feet, like especially like between the toes sometimes, very itchy, very itchy. That's going into the central nervous system, neurological system, and then genetic pool. And that was also something with the blood. And my eye was cloudy. I don't know if you know that. I couldn't see clear out of my eye, and I'm clearing that up. I feel like a new dog. Like I'm a new dog. Like I'm 2 years old. I'm a new dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like very childlike, just whoo. Leave my ears alone, though. Like I feel very sensitive. Oh my gosh. Just wants to lick your face. He knows you love him. Oh yeah, but that very protective energy causes angst, and it's causing what you don't want to come in. So I would calm that down and just put a bubble of light and know they're protected. You already should trust yourself. So there's some hesitation to trusting of the self, but you're doing just fine. But let go of the angst and the worry. And they're calling it like a hematic release. Hematoma hematic release. That's what I did. That tornado of energy that I created is gone. It just went boom, it's down. And I feel like all this vibrancy. So his aura is gold and yellow. It's white and yellow. It's beautiful. So vibrant. Woo, woo, radiating. You must put up protections when you go for walks. Just put a bubble of light around him. Actually say that he can see clearly and can balance the energies. He transmute rather than picks up. Key. Transmute rather than picks up. Tell him to transmute rather than pick up. He doesn't need to carry. He transmutes. He's a protector that way. Do you hear what I'm saying? Very protective. Very. Transmutes. And I'm already being like, whoop, I'm being ripped out of him. I'm separating from his energy already. Honestly, Lisa, if you want me to be honest, I think that whatever happened, he was on a path of death. The reborn to me meant like healed reborn. So whatever was going on would have been a demise. That's the best I got out of it. But remember, and then I also came to the ascension. So they're also showing me the ascension. Remember when I brought all the animals into the new earth? They will all go through a rebirth. So it's all connected. It's all connected. It goes back to that. Okay? He transmutes, but he's picking up instead. So if he's carrying it, it's going to make him toxic. This is what animals do. You've seen the movie A Dog's Purpose? Oh my, that got me. I was like, ah! Okay. Okay. He's a beautiful, beautiful dog. Beautiful, beautiful. But he is a healer. A lot of them will be in a certain way. He will pick it up. What is in your area? I'm curious. Is there like a cemetery? I kept wanting to say burial ground, but like cemetery. There's something that happened there, maybe a fire, some tragedy, which can trap energy. So like where people might go to cry, where there's tragedy, you can trap energy. Read messages upward. Oh, shit. Ha! Okay. I said it was near you. It wasn't like too close. He does have a hematoma on his belly. Okay. So if anybody judged that, read the comments. Holy shit, Lisa. I had no idea. He does have what could be considered a hematoma on his belly. And what did they say I did? It was a hematic release. Holy crap. We are in an area of large Indian war. It was a name, but can't remember it right off. And I said burial ground, like murder, fire, death. It's not right where we live, but within 20 to 50 miles. It was staged in several areas around us. Oh my gosh. Yep. It was a hematoma. And I did a hematic release, but I had to do it through the blood. So pay attention to it. Watch it fade away. Okay. Also, don't worry too much about him. Roger, you're worrying. Don't worry. Just open your heart and follow those nudges, okay? God will always guide you at the right time. Just listen and follow without hesitation. He's not been eating well lately. You're so welcome. That was amazing to me because I didn't know all that. I didn't know he had a hematoma, did he? And I didn't know there was an Indian burial ground around your area. Really, I don't think you've ever told me that. I don't remember it. So there you go. And a hematic release, like, nope. She says nope. Yeah, I didn't know. That was cool. I amazed myself. That was amazing. And then some tear in his muscle and then his hips, like and he was reborn. So I think the animals need to kind of heal to rise too. You know what I'm saying? But it does have to do with the sickness, and it might have been on his death door, like eventually, you know what I mean? Aligned to that path. And we reversed that. We changed that, but it's also ascension related. So no worries. All animals were brought into the new earth as long as they're DNA viable. There were some that won't make it. You will see extinctions occur. They will be reborn here. There's also animals rising that we haven't seen in eons, and that's actually being proven. So it's part of the ascension. Aw, sunshine, it was right at the perfect time, right? You're doing great. No worries. See, no worries. Everything aligns when we need it. That's okay. Yeah, you've got a lot to go. So Lisa, your biggest thing is to heart guided, spirit and heart guided. Surrender that. It's not here. It's here. Okay. It's not here. It's here. Don't worry about how I do things. I want you to follow spirit. Spirit will guide you through your capabilities and abilities. Remember when we talked about that? So we'll go over that more and more as you do this. Okay. But the more you just drop out of your head and into your heart and follow what you see and feel and taste. Something about you tasting. You have the ability to taste. So what you see, feel, taste, little erector pili messages, right? Our little goosebumps are more important. It's part of our senses. It's not just for cold temperatures. Okay. That was beautiful. Now you have psychic taste. What do they call that? Auditory. I don't know what it is. You'll have to look it up. It's a clair. And remember too, in the ascension, you gain new clairs. So they should expand. Okay. That was amazing. I had no idea he had a hematoma. And what the hell's a hematic release? We just learned that one, didn't we? I didn't. Thank you for those validations. And the burial ground. Please put protections around him, especially, but all of them. He's very protective. But what he's doing is he's picking them up to shield you instead of transmuting them. So I want you to get in your mind's eye because he's telepathic and visualize him taking it in and dropping it out. And kind of just push that towards him. Take it in and drop it out. And you can tell him, transmute, don't pick up. They're smart. Oh, they're so smart. Okay? And something about his ears. Holy hell. Be very careful with the ears. I was like, oh, if you stick a Q-tip in there, that reverberates for like weeks. It's like, I mean, you've got to do it sometimes. I get that. But just know he's very sensitive. Like, holy crap. Give him lots of love. But you can actually like rub it a little bit to help ease that. Just gently rub the ears. Oh, so good. Yeah, he doesn't like it. So just kind of rub the ears, reverberating. So just rub those ears. Okay. All right. Long video, but that was very awesome one. I encourage everybody to watch the whole thing of this one. Watch it all because this is truly, truly important stuff that you won't see anywhere else. Thank you so much for the validations. No worry. Fear should never be your guide. Let your heart be the light. God is not fear. Fear is a very low vibration. Okay. So anywhere there is fear, rise above, rise above, rise above, and choose love and just trust. Trust that God has your back. Spirit has your back. That is why we must co-create at this time. If you are not co-creating, you are not aligned. Yes, that was awesome, right? Amy, I'm going to need you to step up and be with me, okay? And I'm so excited. Yay! When you guys realign, those karmic contracts will be gone. So just realign. So much love, so much love, so much love. Thank you for being here. And to those who watched without judgments and at least watched to observe, thank you. Absolutely. I love it. I wouldn't have known he had a hematoma, Lisa. I learned something today too. What's a hematic release? I don't know. We just did it. Do doctors do that? Do they do blood transfusions? Do they realize the blood is toxic? I'm like, holy shit, right? What we could learn from these things. I'm going to have to look that up. Thank you for being here. I love you guys. High five. Whoopsh. And I will see you guys at 3:33. I got to go potty and get ready for our course, okay? All right, G. So much love.